welcome to Fandom Access for August 25th. Today, just Karen and AJ, or Karen and I are here. AJ is not here right now. I just now noticed there's like a floating bird up there. I just noticed it. It looks kind of funny because it's
floating bird.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like standing on the box, and there it's good now because I moved the boxes. I didn't realize the bird was floating. It just looked funny. But welcome everybody. Hopefully people are actually getting it. I have it open in my window and it's not even started, and I know it's not showing anybody but one here, and I'm guessing that's me, so I'm not sure if we're having issues or not, but hopefully people are getting it. Hey Kelly, well, at least one person's getting it anyway. But welcome. Please make sure that you like the video, subscribe to SciFi Vision, and check out scifivision.com, as well as our video tab for our interviews and all that good stuff. If you're not a member of our Discord, make sure you join. I pinned a link in the chat. We have a schedule and our watch parties and games and all that stuff that you can get on Discord. And we do also have our Librarians show tomorrow at 10:30 Eastern. But for tonight, we have Dead City, The Ark, Star Trek Strange New World, and Lanterns that we're going to be talking about. So thank you if you have joined us there. It looks like StreamYard's working now because I see people popping up. For some reason, it was being weird.
Great.
All right. Well, you want to start with Dead City, unless you have a preference.
Let's start with Dead City.
You know, I had to go and look through the pictures to remember what happened. I do remember this episode now because it had been a little bit. Like, it was okay. I don't know that it was anything spectacular. I kind of liked, I guess, like them trying to get the walkers. I mean, it was kind of exciting, but I don't know that anything like super important happened. But as I told you before, I do kind of like the idea that it seems to be more about them surviving, them getting resources, that kind of thing right now. Although right now they're having problems with resources since the earthquake, and that's kind of what this episode's about.
Yeah. Look, this is better than the entire Dama storyline. I like the Dama just didn't do it for me, that storyline, and the various kind of tribes that were living in New York, the factions that had formed, and the very distinct kind of cultures and personalities they took. It was all like really not a lot of that worked for me. So this is better. But and I did appreciate the front, Jamie, you're right, the front half of the episode where they're trying to round up these walkers, like, had some excitement. I just like this Renata and Negan thing is not. I'm worried that's going in a place that I don't know. Is it like it feels like nothing new to me in a lot of ways, right? Like Negan clashing with a leader and whatever. And I don't know. We'll talk about it more as I'm not really sure what to make of it. I'm not totally like feeling it, I guess. But it is better than a lot of what we've seen in this show in the past, right? So, and we're halfway through the season now, right?
This was episode 5. I want to say there's 8, I think.
Yeah. So if we only have 3 episodes left, I don't know.
That might not be right. Don't quote me. I'm looking. Hold on. Go ahead.
Even if we have 10, even if we're halfway through, like, I don't even know what the story is of this season. Like, if you ask me what has to be resolved in the next 3 episodes, I couldn't even tell you. Right? Like, I guess,
yeah, there's 8.
So there's only 3 more episodes left. What even is the thing that we're driving toward, that we're waiting to happen? What questions need to be resolved? What, right? Like, this is
yeah. And look, I mean, that's what I said earlier in the season. Like, it seems like it's more about them surviving and getting resources and living. I don't mind that, but you're right. It does feel like there is an overarching theme missing right now. I think it may just be because it hasn't quite hit the main, I don't want to say the main part of the season because it's over halfway over already, but Yeah,
I mean,
I don't
I'm
know.
not.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Like, it didn't really bother me until you said that, but now I'm kind of like thinking about it. Yeah, we're not. I mean, the beginning of the season was basically ending the other storylines, but I'm not sure what is kind of the through line right now. But
Right.
hopefully,
In the
you know,
first
that'll change.
3, I thought the theme was like, have Maggie and Negan changed, and is their change sustainable? Are they really different people, or are they playing parts? Now I don't even really know if that's even a theme I recognize right now. I also, honestly, I'm not that interested in this show, like them trying to like build a bigger community and thrive in New York. Look, I get it that after 16 years, like they found a way to have electricity. Like maybe the show should go in that direction. But when they live in like nice apartments in New York City and they have like unlimited electricity, and they until this week they had like pretty much no problem with food, and they will have a lot of food again. Like I just don't know. As much as I hated years and years of this show, all these shows being about meeting new groups of psychos and having to kill them, I just like I think I said this last week. If we're driving towards the end, like a real end of the franchise where like they find a way to live in peace and have electricity and food and whatever, like I could be okay with that. But but I if we're not, I can't watch like 3 or 4 more seasons of like I don't know. I guess I just don't know how I feel. That I'm now confused by this show and I'm not sure how I feel, which I guess is better than when I would just rant how much I hated it all the time.
That's very, yeah. Yeah, you know, it's funny. I said, you know, I like this whole like survival angle, but I don't know how long it's sustainable. And I know I have said I enjoyed it, and so far I have, but there it does need something else, I think, at a certain point, because it makes me think. The more I was thinking about that, it didn't have like a main antagonist or whatever, it doesn't feel like right now. It made me think of like Earth Abides. Like that's what that show was, right? Like it was about
Yeah.
them surviving and nothing happened, nothing happened, nothing. So I think to some extent you can only do that so long. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, we still got some more episodes left. If it, you know, turns and stuff happens, it's fine, because I did enjoy the first first 4 episodes a lot. I didn't dislike this episode, but yeah, it does feel like it doesn't feel like it's building towards something, I guess, where usually by now you would feel that, right?
Yeah, I would feel like there's a central conflict or a central goal or something, and I'm not sure what that is for this season. I mean, I do think we'll talk about this later, but I do think we're looking at like Negan seems to be still is like the guy who kind of maybe sees he's a cynic and he doesn't believe this can last, and he like once again he made a decision and he killed a person that Renata didn't okay at first and Maggie didn't okay at first, and there'll be fallout from that, right? And so we do have this bit still, like you could position it as Negan hasn't really changed, he's still the same bad guy, or I could see it as Negan is making those tough decisions that these two like girls with their heads in the clouds aren't able to do. Depends how you look at it. Like there's still that, but like it's a good thing Jeffrey Dean Morgan is a charismatic performer, because this Negan thing has been dragging on for years across multiple shows. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, they can't just make him into a quote unquote good guy, right? Like that's not who Negan is. Right. So, I mean, I can at least appreciate that if he's maybe making better choices now, that it's still going to take a while for him to, you know, completely get there, if that makes sense.
To say he's making better choices implies that you think he made bad choices before. Negan would say he
tortured people and raped women. Yeah, that was bad choice.
Well, he didn't rape women. He kind of did. Like he compelled these women to become his wives, and he had a harem, and these women felt they had no choice. So yes, that's I said he didn't rape them. Like,
that's why I said he coerced them.
I'm wrong.
Probably a better.
He didn't like physically hold them down into the ground, but yes, you're right. He coerced them into having sex with him, which is is it really? It's a violation, and yeah, it's a type of rape. So I misspoke there. He did that, and he, the way he killed Glenn and Abraham, sure. But I mean, Negan would tell you that he made the necessary, except for the women, that all the people he killed were necessary choices, right? Yeah. Burning Dwight with an iron. Yes, that was a terrible thing to do. Negan would tell you it was necessary to intimidate. He might not be that guy anymore, right?
Yeah, but I don't think he is. I mean, I think that he's doing the necessary things, but where before he just look, I'm not saying he enjoyed doing it. It made it seem like he did, but I don't know whether he was supposed to have or not. Now it seems like they're changing kind of the way he was a bit and backtracking a bit to make him seem nicer for this series. But I mean, look, they could have killed those leaders. They could have tortured those leaders. He didn't. He isn't being malicious like I feel he was before. Again, would he feel that he was? Maybe not. But I do think he's changed. I don't think that it's an overnight change, and I don't think he's suddenly this, golden child. But yeah, I mean, I definitely see a shift in him, and I don't mind. Like, I like that storyline, but I do agree. Like, you need more beyond that, maybe.
Yeah, and a little more beyond that in this season. There needs to be like Negan and Maggie. We'll talk about this some more. I think I'm not maybe comfortable with the Negan and Maggie relationship, that they're trying to, like, am I supposed to believe that Maggie has put Negan's murder of her husband behind her and they're friends now? Like, the Maggie that I knew up until the season would never do that. Yeah. And I'm not sure I buy that. Kelly says he's not as bad as he was before, but maybe it could be said that he is being more realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's more realistic than Maggie and Renata, and he's not as bad as he was before. But I just fundamentally can't believe a scenario where those two are friends. And she's like, she said earlier, I'm so tired of being angry. I mean, it's good to put that anger behind you and move on with your life.
Become best friends with the killer. Yeah.
Become best friends with the killer. Yeah.
But I mean, look, we've been complaining about this issue from the very beginning of the show. Yes. And we've said, and I've said multiple times, that if you watch this show, you kind of have to accept that they're going to get along because the show is about the two of them. I don't buy it. I agree. But if I can accept, like, thinking about it, what we were talking about, the previous weeks, if I can accept that they've reconfigured things that don't make sense, like how Herschel had another personality transplant again, but it made the show better for it.
Yeah.
So I said I could kind of ignore the fact that it was all over the place. I'm kind of trying to do that, I guess, with this. Like, I enjoy the two of them together as friends because he's, like you said, he's charismatic. They're good actors. They have good chemistry together. I just have to kind of not think about what happened. Like, I just have to kind of move on from that. And I'm enjoying it. So I'm okay with that as long as the relationship is more well written now. I can just get on board with the new, this is the way it is, because otherwise I can't watch it. So that's just kind of, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of down with Maggie accepting that Negan is a necessary evil. Like, she needs Negan in her community. He is a very strong fighter. There's a lot of reasons why you might want Negan around, and like, I guess their coexistence, a story of their coexistence kind of makes sense to me, but like, this looks like it's moving into a little more than just like coexisting with this evil that we have to accept, and towards being like friends a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kelly said, I think Maggie was drunk, but not really
friends.
We're
not at that yet, which is why I left us. I'm sorry. You know how neurotic and like OCD I am about this. So I apologize. Please take we don't have a lot of comments. Please go back to that comment. Let's take
because we're talking about them being friends. That's why I put it up, but you're right.
Okay, do it. Okay. She did comment on your okay.
Yeah, I was just commenting because we were saying about them being friends. maybe. I don't know. I feel like they're moving towards them being friends. At least it feels like it to me. But as long as it never goes beyond that, I can, like I said, I can deal with it.
Yeah, you're right that the show is better. The show is better this year, and do we have to just accept it?
If it's better for it, I can accept it and move on. As long as they don't flip-flop again. Like, that's it, right? Like, if they do it all over again, and then that's a problem.
Next season they hate each other. Next season they are friends.
Yeah, that I don't need. Like, either they get along or they don't. I don't want to jump back and forth 20 times.
Yeah. B also commented on your Herschel personality change.
Yeah, sometimes teenagers go through strange personality changes. It's a wild ride with them. This is true, but last season Herschel was kind of a psycho and willing to kill people, so that's a little bit much for me. But hey, it's the apocalypse, you know. Yeah, it is funny that in a world where they're, you know, fighting zombies, we're complaining about these kind of things, but you know, you want to not be constantly thinking about these kind of things and laughing about it. But look, I also feel like, and I said this before, I feel like the tone is shifted this season too, because I do feel at times like it's, I don't want to say lighthearted, but I said before, like I see like kind of dark comedy in certain moments and it seems to be a little more campy at times. I don't know. At least that's how I felt this season. Like it feels like a little bit of a tonal shift, which I don't totally mind. I don't love the you know, dark and depressing all the time. I think that's why I've enjoyed these first few episodes, because they were a little more hopeful. I've said that before. I don't know that everybody agrees with that. I think probably most people that watch Walking Dead are waiting for murder and mayhem and all that, and that's fine. But I don't know. I don't mind there being a little less of that right now. Everybody, well, not everybody, but more people were surviving and getting along okay. You know, comparatively, let's say, than in some seasons.
Yeah, I mean, we have a new showrunner and I think new writers this season, right? And they're trying to like go a different way.
Yeah. All right. So I don't know that we even need to go through everything, but the idea is that they're out of food because of the earthquake. So everybody is fighting over it, and they're trying to keep them calmed down. And Maggie has this idea, at least I think it was originally Maggie's idea, that basically they can distract them by giving them unlimited power. Because if they have electricity and they can do things, then they're not quite so depressed, so they won't notice they don't have food. Look, would that work? I don't know that I buy that would make people not as upset they're starving. But I mean, I guess it would boost morale somewhat. They're not really starving. They're like, I think and I don't remember who it was that said it, but didn't one of them make a comment like, before now, you would have been like happy to have the amount of food you have now? Like,
Maggie says it because Renata is like giving this, like, Renata's the leader, right? She's giving the, so I re-listened to the first half of the episode in the car today, so I remember this. That, you know, she's saying about we're gonna have to have rations, but we're growing turkeys, blah blah blah, this and that, and the crowd is like, fuck that, I want my food, right? And it's Maggie who steps up and says, like, look, nobody asked for this. This is nobody's fault, right? Mm-hmm. Kelly, we talked about this. Kelly points out it's a good lesson not to keep all the food in the same spot. Which
probably shouldn't keep all the weapons in the same spot either. I don't know that they do, just saying.
They have probably an arsenal, but keeping your weapons in the same spot is a little whatever.
It's a little different than food, I guess.
Like in an armory, usually because you have to keep them locked. Whatever. I agree with you, maybe. But I guess nobody expected.
At least on television, maybe not real life, but in television, because you know somebody raids the armory and then you lose them all. Just saying.
It is a good lesson. Although I don't know that anybody expected a giant sinkhole would open up and bring a building down on top of all their food, right? Right. So Maggie's like, it's nobody's fault. And so to your point, Maggie says, I know we've all had weeks where we wish we could have had this much food.
Yeah, which is probably like the majority of the show. So. Yeah, they're not starving per se, but they're rationing, and it's making people pissy. So they're kind of like, well, if we can give them something else, we'll keep their mind off of what's going on.
Yeah, I don't think the intent is that they won't notice that they're hungry, but make another part of their life better. I kind of think it's a mistake. Like, why do you need electricity 24/7? Like, I think it'd be perfectly reasonable to be like, there's no power between midnight and 5 a.m. or something like that, right? Like, why do these people need the risk that they take in this episode to get the walkers and do this? To me, seems like, I mean, couldn't you just extend the power? Like, to me, also, I don't know that walkers are an unlimited resource, even New York City. Like, I was like doing a little math and like, how many walkers a day do you need? 10, 100, 1,000, right? And
Yeah, I don't
like,
know.
how many years will all the walkers in New York City last? Because
till they start killing other people to make walkers, right?
I mean,
look, I think it also, I also kind of looked at it though, that it gave everybody a common goal to work towards going to get these walkers. So I think it benefited them and it helped in the way they wanted it to. Would it in real life? Maybe not. But here, I mean, I kind of get it. Like, it gave them something to do and something to think about. And I mean, to be fair, like, if you are miserable and you're like, hey, I can play video games, I can take a hot shower, I have heat, like, it is going to be better than if you're sitting there freezing, doing nothing, right? Like, it would to some extent help. Would it make you forget about it completely? No. But it might help. I'm going to donate my body to the walkers. You're funny, B. But to be fair though, if they're taking walkers, I mean, it's taking them off the street where they're walking around and can kill people. So I guess it's not a bad thing, but
yeah,
it's realistic to keep up, maybe not. We still have the ongoing story with Luis and Herschel about them helping people and him teaching Herschel, being doctors. I don't think anything in particular really happened on that side. It was just kind of like a check-in, so they were in the episode more than anything.
I mean, there's some discussion about his wife being gone, and they share story. Luis talks about losing his wife, and Maggie helped me to really accept that she's gone now. And then Herschel says, like, I lost somebody too. And he goes, there's this bit from Herschel saying, I'm paraphrasing, but as long as we think about them, as long as we remember them, they're never really gone, kind of thing, he says, right? Something along those lines. They never leave us. Even though they're gone, they're not really gone, kind of thing, he says.
Now you're just making me think of Harry Potter.
Right? Yeah, it was your typical like TV claptrap.
No, it is. I just didn't remember what it was they were discussing, but you're right. It was about his wife. And look, I mean, I get that they're giving us more Luis backstory, and I do like him, so it's fine. I just, story-wise, did it add to the plot? Maybe not. It must not have been that significant, or I would have remembered more of what they were saying. And granted, it's been whatever it was, a while since I've seen. I mean, it hasn't been that long, but it's been a little bit since I've seen this. So but anyway, so their idea is that they need to get more walkers for the electricity. So they're going to go down. Oh, I love this. This was great. I mean, look, we talk about it's hard to come up with new things and that. I loved when this has happened before, but the way they did this scene with them standing there and then the walker falls off the top of the building or jumps off or whatever it did that it walked off the top and like splatted next to them was funny. And that's what I mean kind of about like these dark comedic moments. Like, that was meant to be funny. It was gross, but it was meant to be funny, I think. And I did like that scene. And I agree, Kelly, that Luis's wife will probably show up. At least I think that at some point, because otherwise, why put so much into it, right? Especially if they are kind of pushed. And I don't know that they are, but it seems to me like last episode, at least, that they were kind of pushing the narrative of there was going to maybe be something between Maggie and Luis eventually. So it would make sense to me if they get them closer and then she shows up because, they want to know.
And it would relieve me of fear that the writers might get a bad idea and try to make Maggie and I mean, I think there are Maggie Negan shippers out there in the world, right? And putting Maggie with Louise to me is great because it reassures me that I'm not going to have to see something I really don't want to see.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, there are some people who I know that we even have, I think, some people that watch our show that think that. I don't know that I feel that way, but to each their own. Hey, to be fair, some of the ships I like are a little nuts, so I can't say too much, but I definitely do not want to see Negan and Megan.
Negan.
I said Negan and Megan. I don't know what the hell just came out of my mouth, but Maggie and Negan, we don't want to see that. All right, so they have to be aware of the falling zombies. There's a lot with them getting them into the bar in order to talk to them about what they're going to do. The group of Negan and Maggie and Renata, they come up with. I don't understand that they had all these papers with all the stats of everybody on it.
Know,
like,
right?
Did they really take all this information down when the people moved in the town? That was a little weird to me.
I know. It's sort of like a Dirty Dozen kind of like, let's put together our team. And they have like printed. So they're running print. They have a computer and they have a printer. Like, you're right. Where did they get this? It was a little.
Yeah, they might have, I guess they probably do have a printer or something. I hadn't even thought about the fact it was printed because the drawings in that are all drawn.
But the typing is typed, right?
Yeah. What I don't understand is like you don't see, although I guess maybe by now people probably ditched their phones, maybe. Because I feel like if I had electricity, I'd be trying to charge a phone and look at photos and stuff. That would be the first thing I would immediately.
I mean, if you have, if you have anything that was stored in the cloud, it's gone. It doesn't,
Well, but there should still be some on your phone, I would hope. I mean, I guess it depends how you have your phone set up.
The only phone we've seen in 16 years of this show is the one that somebody found that like Rick had carved a picture onto the case, right?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, if it's whatever it is 16 years later, you probably haven't bothered to worry about keeping a phone.
No,
I don't know. I've always thought that like if I was ever in an apocalypse, I feel like that's something that I would make sure I kept, even if stuff happened, because you never know what's going to happen. And like all your pictures are there. That's the only thing I think. And I always think is like you'd have no pictures because to be honest, like who even prints out stuff anymore, right? Like I don't think I've had like a printed photo since like a decade ago, other than like convention photos.
I really don't think anyone's carrying their phone around for 16 years in the hope that someday cell phones might, right? I mean,
no, I know that's what I'm saying. Like realistically, you wouldn't, but
you can't even like hold on to her wedding ring. I don't think anybody would have a phone. I don't know how there's any typing. I don't really understand. And I don't understand how they have files on all these people. You're right. It was kind of silly. And it was to show this like sort of, let's pick this one, let's pick that one. And it was like the worst of the worst kind of people, right?
Yeah. They were after people that I guess they thought they could trust, hopefully, but was more people that were good fighters. Yeah. Lori took her photo album when she took off with Shane in the beginning. So yeah, see, people had that kind of stuff at the beginning.
On day one. But by day
this long later, if you got the clothes on your back and food that you're alive, you're probably happy, to be fair.
Yeah.
So all right. So they pick, like you said, the worst of the worst. This guy who's got a zombie on an axe. I don't know. That was cool. I don't know that it makes sense.
This is the guy they said is former FDNY, and he knew the city really well. And was very creative in like his zombie killing or whatever. They all were like some quirky, like comic book level of description.
Yeah, because that definitely that is an axe through its head, right? At least that's what it looks like.
Yeah, it makes sense. Fireman.
They made it into like a mohawk. That definitely looks like a comic book frame, but I love it. That was great. Then we have the chef or whatever, and I ended up, because I was going fast, I didn't get a picture of him from the front. But this porn star guy, which is hilarious that they picked him. And again, that's what I'm saying of like kind of these humorous, like wouldn't have been there before maybe. But yeah, they're getting their team and they're going out. Meanwhile, Renata is watching. I forget this guy's name.
He wants to invite Fabian to go. Fabian was the major complainer in the town meeting. And so I wanted to come back to this, not this comment. I wanted to come back to a comment that I saved earlier.
There's 2 that are starred, so
I know, and so Kelly said this early.
It's about killing Maggie. Is that what you mean?
When you said, Kelly, we were talking about Negan when your comment appeared. I have no doubt this guy would have killed Maggie. I've been getting really bad vibes. We were talking about Negan, so I wasn't sure about Negan, but I thought you meant you've been getting bad vibes off Fabian for a while.
Yeah, I'm not sure which that was referring to.
Because he does kill Maggie by the end of the episode, right?
Yeah.
So yes, I mean, I got bad vibes from him. First of all, when he was just a jerk in the town meeting, and in this scene, you definitely get you definitely get yes. Kelly says yes. You definitely get I got a bad vibe in this scene. Did you?
Yeah. You knew something was up. And look, the guy doesn't want to help unless he's going to get more rations and all that. And I don't know. I necessarily blame him for feeling that way. Like, I can understand it, but you can tell that it's more than that, right? Like, he's not going to accept.
And like, he's very angry in the beginning. Maggie never should have had us leave the bricks.
Yeah, he's mad because his wife wanted to leave. He did not. And Maggie talked to his wife, and he feels talked her into it, and they wouldn't have left if it wasn't for Maggie. So that's why he resents her.
So in this scene, Renata's like, I want to invite Fabian, and she goes to see him. He's like, no, I have a wife and kid. I can't risk my life. But I do want to help. How about if I volunteer for guard duty while you guys are gone? And Renata's like, sure, yeah. And immediately, I was suspicious, right? Like, this is this thing where I felt like, AJ said about a character on a different show recently, AJ said, oh yeah, he gave in too quickly. He's like, AJ would say, I suspect this guy because he was too nice too quickly.
Yeah. Well, and I think she, like, in hindsight, I think even she at this point probably already knew what he was planning or had an idea and was letting him make his own bed, right? I mean, like, she knew, she let him do it. She's like, let's see if he actually follows through or not. I feel like is what that was. Which in the end, maybe she should have not let it happen. She should have said, oh no, we don't need you. But no, she's like, let's let him make his mistake, and then we can yell at him for it later.
I was suspicious of him, but in this scene, I did not. I mean, okay, having seen the whole episode.
Yeah. No, I didn't think that at the beginning.
Okay. All right.
No, I didn't think Renata thought anything of it, but in retrospect, I think that she knew it. Like, I think she already had an idea what he was up to.
All right. Anyway, he's a
smart. Will we find that out? I don't know. I mean, that's just my own opinion. It doesn't matter because, the end of the episode. So, all right. So anyway, they're getting this group together. I did like how they did it, even though it was a little cheesy, but I liked how they did it. They get all together. There's like big speeches. Everybody listens to Negan. And I know there was something where he was saying that he had in common. I think he said he had in common with God or something because he doesn't like cowards or something. Yeah. So he's all, building them up, and, there's somebody right now, these people, he's somebody they're looking up to and all that, which, is probably not a good thing. But it is.
I thought he gave a very good pep talk. Maggie lays out the plan, and then Negan gives the pep talk. And I think, it's again that charisma and showmanship that Negan has inherently that I think he gives. Like, neither Maggie nor Renata couldn't have given this hype speech the way he did.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. So he gets these guys to all be willing to risk themselves to go. And I think they do say that they're going to give them more rations if they come, don't they? I think they, in the end,
Renata wants to offer them double rations, and what's his name? Jimmy Simpson, whatever that guy's name is. Dillard says, no, you should offer them scavengers' rights. Like, whatever we find when we go in there, they get to keep, or they get first crack at what they want to keep. He says, what these people, I mean, it's kind of insightful that he kind of understands these people better than than and what motivates them better than Renata does, right? Like everybody's motivated by food, and yes, everybody would like double ration, but there's this other thing they might want more.
Yeah, which I think was supposed to be first choice, I think is what he meant, right? Not that they get to keep everything, they get first choice.
You're right. Yeah.
Which I don't know if did she ever tell Fabian that? Maybe then he would have wanted to go. Who knows?
I don't know. In the end, they don't find anything useful, I don't think, anyway. But they're going in the subway, right? Like, that's jam packed, so jam packed with walkers, right? It's full of walkers. Yeah. But anyway,
so I don't know. I
this had a little bit of a Wild West.
At some point, must have skipped. Wait, where'd it go?
Right.
I don't know. I thought I had a picture of the other guy because I just seen him now standing at the table. There's also this.
It's fine. They're all essentially red shirt guys. They're nobodies. None of them became a real character in this episode.
Oh. But they kind of introduce the ones that they picked, so it feels like maybe they could be later. I don't know.
I hope not. They're corny and comic booky and right. I mean.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Well, they're going down. They're going down into the subway. So they go into, I don't know what exactly this room was. I guess it was part of the subway. I don't know. But the point is that this girl is going to climb across the walkers and distract them while the others corral them in. Which I like how they all had like hooks and they're just like pulling them and grabbing them and I guess probably bucketing them. I mean, I like how they did that because we don't normally see this and see them anybody, using walkers as opposed to killing walkers. I feel like it's something different at least, right?
Well, and but it was kind of a good plan. Like we have like drawn a herd in there and now it's too dangerous. They only want to take out 4 or 5 walkers at a time. To get them in the truck, then take 5 more, get them in the truck. And finally I understood, like last week, you and I were like, why do they have to be alive? Why do they need live walkers? What, they're just going to throw them in the tank. Why can't they be dead? And now I get it that like, that this is like their backup supply of walkers and they keep them alive. I guess the minute you kill them, they start decaying and they're not as good, right? You want like...
I don't know, because as far as I know, walkers are already decaying. So I still, other than simplicity of being able to walk them to the tanks literally and not having to carry them.
You're right. They're all decrepit and like decayed away. They're right. You're right. There's no.
I would think technically they could like probably cut them up and just carry them in pieces to the tanks and it would serve the same purpose. But it might just be for ease of, for simplicity's sake. I don't know. But anyway, she's the distraction. I got to say, though, if I was, in on this plan, I would not want to be the distraction, right? That's like, you never want to be the distraction.
But that's why they chose like these brave, adventurous people.
Yeah. So she basically dangles above the walkers, she thinks safely, while they are corralling them in, throws flares off in order to get their attention. But of course, things go wrong and she almost falls, but she makes it back. And this is what I mean about, I feel like this season is a little more hopeful. Like any other time, if this was another season of Walking Dead, there's no way she got out of there. Like I was really surprised she survived. And I think it was interesting too, because you had kind of that dynamic of Negan being like, we can't, one of them said something like open the gates. I think it was Renata to go help her. And he's like, we can't do that. Like you can't risk this group of people for one person. And he was not wrong.
But that's the important, like whether this girl makes it across and lives or dies is irrelevant, right? Like what's important here, you're right. The important part of the scene is Renata being like, oh my God, she's going to fall. Like, let them go. Like, let the walkers go. And Negan's like, she's like, open the doors. And then Negan immediately, like Renata tells the crew, open the doors. And Negan immediately is like, do not open those doors. We will all die.
Yeah, like, don't be an idiot. I mean, look, I get wanting to preserve life and I get wanting to help your friends, but you don't put a whole group of people at risk for one person. Everybody knows.
Well,
that's why he's a better leader than her.
This is the central, thing here. Yeah, like, Negan always has to make the hard decision. Negan killed the Dama. Negan is like, I'm sorry, but we might have to let her die, right? Kelly says that's why they need Negan. He makes the smarter choice about these things.
I have to wonder though. I feel like Maggie would have made the same choice though. Negan did. Like
Maybe.
I don't think Maggie would have been stupid enough to open the.
But Maggie's not there, right? And they have set up. They've set this up that Renata is the leader of the community, not Maggie, right?
Yeah, I think Maggie was with them when they went though, wasn't she? Or no?
Well, she's in some other like part of the room doing something else. She's not in the room with them. She's on the other crew taking walkers out, right?
Okay, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, I think she would have made the same choice.
I agree with you. Maggie probably in this situation would have been like, we can't open the doors. I hope she can make it. Yeah. And she makes it. And Negan, like, trust this girl to try, get herself across. He's like, we can't. But now he's not only has he had to make the choice for Renata, but he's defied her in front of the crowd, which I don't know if she's going to like. And he's just defied her in general, which I don't like. Like they're really setting up, I think, Negan versus Renata, right? Is really being set up
for sure. Yeah. But she does make it, was my point with all that. There's more about Luis and Herschel. We talked about that earlier. Oh, and then they celebrate at the bar and they're kind of, all having a good time.
Well, they're all getting pretty drunk. They're singing karaoke and getting pretty drunk, a lot of them, right?
Yeah, I thought I had, sometimes it takes the wrong moment and I think it gets something and it doesn't. Because I know I had a picture of Renata and Dillard singing karaoke, but apparently that was probably it and it just got it at the wrong moment. But I did enjoy the two of them singing karaoke. It was funny. It was cool. I liked it.
I think it's a little...
It's hokey, but I mean, I enjoyed it. I liked it. It's a nice... light break.
Yeah, I mean, it seems a level of, it seems a little irresponsible and unsafe. I'm not sure the community's safe enough that you can throw a wild party and not be drawing like every walker in that part of Manhattan to come. Like, I don't know. I guess maybe there's a level of fencing around their part of the city. Like, I don't really know about their defenses and how they maintain this part of the city to be walker free. So sometimes I feel like, is this really safe for all of your best fighters to be getting drunk together?
I feel like maybe before the earthquake, it was a little more safe.
Was it an earthquake? I feel like it was a sinkhole.
Or sinkhole, whatever. Before that happened, I feel like it was a little more secure than it is now. But I don't know.
I don't know.
But no, it's meant they're having a good day. They're letting themselves relax.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
This is where we earlier with B's comment. I mean, I definitely thought they were acting friendly. Yeah, I mean, I think they're heading towards being friends. At least I get that impression. And like I said, does it make sense? No. Can I accept it and enjoy it? Yeah.
He has a pet name for her. He's the only one who calls her Margaret. Everyone in the world calls her Maggie. He calls her Margaret. And
to be fair, though, I think he's done that for a long time, hasn't he? I don't think that's something.
Okay, it's still a pet name. And
no, I know. I'm just saying I don't think it's.
And she says to him, "We couldn't have done it without you today," which is maybe true, but she is really. That's not a thing Maggie would ever have said to him, even if it was true. Like she would never have given him like that level of a compliment or praise or a thank you. You can take that statement any of those ways, but they're really, yeah. I mean, I do think she was drunk.
Yeah, I do think she's drunk too, but I still think she's been overall been fairly friendly to him. I feel like.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, they're both getting drunk, and there's the Burrow. What is it? Nasty.
It's whatever homebrew he's making.
No, I just wondered what it said. Nasty Negan 5 Burrow Burn. That's his concoction, because he started to make alcohol, right? Like him and Dillard are making new alcohol.
Well, he
makes sense, otherwise they're going to run out, right?
He confesses. He says, like, where'd you get this? He says, "Oh, I might have stolen some potatoes from the storehouse." And Maggie says, "Negan," but she says it like a Negan, like a almost like a teasing kind of way. And he says, "Hey, it was before the famine. I'm not a psycho."
Yeah. Well, they weren't on rations then, so he was allowed to do that. But to be fair,
he still stole it.
But he still stole it. I don't know. Were they on? Maybe they weren't on unlimited then. I guess probably. But
he says I stole it. He says I stole it.
So they, I guess, at least were still limited. But I have to say, I don't know that making alcohol, if it's keeping people happy and giving them something, is necessarily always a bad thing. Like, you want to keep the community happy, right? So him taking a little bit of potatoes to make the alcohol could be considered a good thing.
Yes, but he could have said, "Hey, Maggie, I think we need more alcohol. It's running out. How about you let me have some extra potatoes so I can brew some for the people to have," right?
Yeah. But it's interesting because up until actually still, he's been saying he's not a part of this community and he doesn't want to stay. I think he does. I think he says that. And I think that, yeah, I don't think he intends to just take off like he keeps saying he's going to. Or maybe he thinks he does, but he really doesn't. You know what I mean? Because it's not like he made that alcohol and hoarded it for himself. He did give it to everybody, which seems to be a little...
Maybe, but he wasn't going to come to the town meeting and be like, "Hey, I have a bottle of liquor for everybody," right? He was keeping it. He brought it out. In fact, he brings this bottle out to have some with Maggie, but it's not clear what they're drinking. They could just, there's still alcohol in Manhattan, right? Like, there's probably still alcohol in Manhattan. I'm sure that every single liquor store isn't empty. Every single apartment in New York City that could right? There's still whiskey and vodka around.
I feel like otherwise they should be keeping it to clean medical equipment. So I hope they have a lot.
We just saw a bottle of Johnny Walker Blue last week, right? There's liquor in the world. But anyway, he's making some. He breaks it out for them to drink. They have this kind of moment over Negan's homebrew. I don't know that so this bit about Negan doesn't want to be part of the community. I think Negan doesn't want to be part of Renata's leadership structure.
Yes.
I don't know that he doesn't want to be in the community, but he doesn't want to come and live in their apartment building and be part of their council and their this and their that, right? That's what he doesn't want to be a part of.
Right. But he's acting like none of it matters to him. I'm saying that I don't buy. I think that he is relatively, for Negan, he was depressed before, but I think that he's okay with where he's at. I'm just saying, I think a lot of it, he puts on, or maybe he believes it. I don't know, but he acts like he's going to take off, and I don't think he really is going to.
I don't think he acts like he's going to take off.
Well, he was before, because he kept saying it wasn't his community, he wasn't staying, and that's what he was saying at the beginning of the season anyway. But you're right. I think it was more to do with he didn't want to be under Renata than he didn't want to be.
She tried to bribe him with an apartment last week, and he was like, "I'm not moving in here."
Yeah. I felt though the old Negan would have taken the apartment and then just abused everything she did though. So I do think he's changed. And I'm not saying that I don't know. I just think he would have done it differently if this was a season ago.
How could he, Renata has the loyalty of every single person there. How could he take the apartment and then go against her? He takes an apartment, she can watch him, she's keeping her enemy close, and there are conditions with living there, and she's bribing him, right?
Yeah, I guess. I just think it would have went down.
And Maggie would go with Renata. Maggie and Renata are in lockstep right now.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, they're celebrating, and then Renata goes back to see Fabian because she knows he's stolen food, and she forces him to tell the community that he's stolen the food and give it back. So it's a big thing, he's supposed to feel guilt for it, and everybody will be mad at him over it, so that way he won't do it again. That's her way of punishing him. And maybe more, I think she says they'll see what else, but that's kind of the first step or whatever of what her punishment is. I don't know that this, I feel like this idea of punishment is way too lenient, making somebody in this place be oh, I stole food, it's not going to deter people.
It is to deter him, right? It's a humiliation for him, and everybody would hate him after that because he took food, literally taking food out of their mouths, and everybody in the whole community will hate him. So
yeah, I'm just saying I don't know how much of a deterrent it is for people, but yes.
I don't know. If you see a guy that everyone hates, it is hard to get by in this world if everyone hates you and doesn't trust you and doesn't want anything to do with you, right?
That's true.
But I mean, I agree with you though that it was too lenient a punishment. I mean, I think they should just kicked him out of the community and been like, "What? These are hard times. You stole from us. You're gone."
Yeah, and you said you shouldn't have came here. Well, maybe you shouldn't have. Bye bye.
Kelly says he took a ton too. Like he's a dummy. He didn't just take like a couple cans of beans to get his. Like he could have volunteered there and taken like a little bit every week to feed his family and probably gotten away with it and nobody would have noticed, maybe, right?
It's like when they have those movies where people start stealing cents from a company and then like Office Space, and then it adds up. It's like when you take the big amount, that's when they notice.
Yeah.
Just a little bit off the top. But no, you're right. He took a couple bags worth of shit.
He's a thief and a dummy. And so he needs to be, or a dummy, a poor planner at best. Yeah. And I think Renata is wrong. Like Renata, this idea of like, Renata, like,
she thinks that like everybody's good. I think is the problem. Like she's giving them the benefit of the doubt.
She doesn't think Negan's good. She doesn't think everybody's good.
No, not Negan. But I mean, I feel like she's giving this guy the benefit of the doubt. Like, oh, we're just going to slap him on the wrist and he won't do it again. Is kind of how I feel she's acting. At least to me.
I find it kind of shocking that this many years into the apocalypse, that Renata doesn't really understand what it means to try to lead a community in this world. Right? Like, and Negan knows, Maggie knows, right? Like, why would Maggie even be like, let Renata, like, I know she told Renata she could be in charge, and Maggie doesn't want to be in charge, but like,
how does Maggie not see all the mistakes she's making? I guess.
How does Maggie not say, Renata, this is not going to stop anyone. You need to like go harder on him, right? And maybe Maggie wouldn't want to kick him out like I do, but have some other level of punishment for him. And it just surprised me that, like, what was Renata just living in her apartment with, like, her husband and Luis for, like, the last 16 years and not, like, understanding how hard community building is? Like, she lived in a city that was dominated by these factions of kooks that we had to watch for the last 2 years, right?
Yeah. Well, they kind of make it seem like you're supposed to believe that the Dama and the Croat were taking care of these people, and they weren't.
Yeah.
Renata would not last long if it wasn't for them. You're right. And I think that that's why they do need Negan. And look, I don't necessarily disagree with what Negan did. I think he maybe should have done it in a different way. But I don't. We'll get to that when we get to it. But I'm just saying, you're right. I think Maggie should be leading and Renata is not doing a good job. And I think it's going to bite her in the butt.
And Negan thinks Maggie should be leading.
Yes, but Maggie doesn't want to lead, which is the problem. And I mean, look, Negan can't take over leading because that wouldn't go anywhere. I mean, that would be bad, and because then he knows that they'd end up fighting again, I think. So, all right. So that's happened. He tells everybody he stole. They're pissed at him. Then there's this whole thing. I don't remember exactly where it came about. It was somewhere in the episode and I didn't quite understand, but something about they're setting up the not turntable, but the rotating thing here. I don't know what you call it.
The turnstile. Yeah.
Turnstile. I said turntable. I'm like, that's not right. Turnstile.
There's no way the turntiles go in one direction. And so the zombies can get in, but they can't get out.
Right. So they're somehow going to set this up so that they can, and I think it was that woman that was the bait. That's the one that did it. But somehow setting it up so that it'll lead the walkers in so they can get them out easy and use them for electricity.
Yeah, that's from the beginning of the episode.
Yeah, that's what I said. I didn't remember when it was they talked about it. Let's see, more stuff with Louise and Herschel. Okay, so here's the kind of the crux of the episode, which is that this guy is a complete and utter idiot, and he starts spouting his mouth to Negan. Like, if you're going to tell somebody you want to kill somebody, Negan is not the person you want to tell, right? Like, maybe if he had told Renata, she would have been like, you can't do that, the way she's acting, and wouldn't have done anything. Well, but,
Remind me, Jamie, he says things like, this is where he says things like, Maggie told us it was safe to leave the bricks. Now we get here and there's no food. And she's a bitch and we should kill her. First of all, why is he trying to kill Maggie and not Renata? It's Renata who humiliated him in front of the entire community and caught him and everything, right? And now he's like, he's mad at Maggie. And
because she got his wife to want to go here. It is kind of dumb, but I think it's just they needed it to be Maggie, right? Because it doesn't make sense to the story if it's not Maggie.
Because we don't care if he wants to kill Renata.
Yeah,
And this was also annoying to me because I'm like, oh my god, this whiny man is blaming the women around who are doing the work, and he blames them
because he stole something. Like, it's all because he stole it and he's pissed, right? Like, I mean, that's what precipitated it, was because he stole the stuff.
Like, you know what? You don't like New York? You're welcome to leave. Go back wherever you came from.
You know what I think would have been more interesting? And look, it's not going to happen, but just how sometimes when you watch a show and you're kind of like, what if? I think that what would have been really interesting is if instead of saying, I'm going to kill Maggie, if he actually said, I'm going to kill Renata, because I'm curious how it would have went differently. Because one, I don't know that Negan would have reacted the way he did. And two, maybe Renata wouldn't have reacted the way she is. Well, which I can understand her being mad at him, but that's a whole nother issue. But I'm just saying, like, I kind of am curious how that would have went down differently. Yeah. Between all three of them. The guy may not have ended up shot. I don't know. Yeah. All right. So yeah, he makes the biggest mistake of all of telling Negan he's going to go after Maggie. Where are you at? Why are you gone?
Well, I'm here. What do you mean? Why am I gone? Oh, well, I'm gone from the screen. Yeah. I'll leave and come back. Hang on.
No. She disappeared. I was going to say it for some reason. I'm putting it back. Hold on. Hold on. It's hold on.
Yeah.
There we go. I don't know what happened. I think it for some reason removed the video from the screen and then it went to a different. I don't know why it did that. But anyway.
So Fabian runs his mouth to the one person. Yes. Like, I guess he's the only person who doesn't notice that, like Negan likes Maggie and Negan owes Maggie and Negan's not gonna and Negan thinks Maggie's the only capable leader.
Yeah. So he made a big mistake. And Negan just sits there at first and lets him do it, and then he grabs his gun and Renata comes in when he's about to shoot him. Now, this is again also another thing I kind of am curious how it would have went down. Like, part of me feels like if Renata had not been like, don't you dare do that, he may not have done that. Do you think? No. Or do you think he would have shot him anyway?
I think he would have shot him anyway. I think this guy needs shooting. And I think.
Oh, I agree.
I think Negan's not going to let a guy who's a threat to Maggie live. And even if Negan's like, you better not hurt Maggie or I'll kill you. But Maggie would, like, it's not worth the risk, right?
Yeah.
And I think he would have done it anyway. You know, I think.
He might have been more sneaky about it, though. I feel like he shot him in front of her simply because she's like, you can't do that.
Oh, I felt the opposite. I felt like it's the reason Negan paused as long as he did was because she came in and she's like, don't do it. And I think Negan weighed it in his mind and then he did it. And I think if Renata hadn't showed up, he would have shot the guy in 5 seconds instead of 35 seconds or however long this takes.
All right. I can see that. But I mean, if you're building a community, you can't just kill somebody because they threaten somebody. And yes, it's Maggie. No. And yes, in this instance, I do think he was right. But you can't kill everybody that disagrees with Maggie, though, right? Like,
he didn't kill him because he disagreed with Maggie. He killed him because he said he was going to kill Maggie.
Yeah, he did.
I think Jamie, in our community, you can't do that. In our community, you can say in our community, if you say you're going to kill a president, the Secret Service will show up at your house and arrest you, right?
Yeah.
You can't just go. You don't have freedom to go around saying you're going to kill people, even in our community. But you would be arrested, not killed. But in their community, like, I understand why the consequences are greater for the things that you do in that community.
Yeah, and he totally should have shot him. I'm just like kind of saying like,
and he doesn't.
I kind of wonder if he could have talked him down, or like if I'm not saying he should have. I'm just saying like I kind of.
Do you think talk that guy out of killing Maggie? And you think it is worth the risk?
I don't know. And like I said, I'm not saying Negan was wrong. I just am thinking of like different ways this could have went, and that's why I said I'm interested how it would have went if the guy said he was going to kill Renata. Like, would Negan just have been like, go ahead? And that's her fault for being a bad leader? Or would he have done something? And if he had, would she have reacted differently because it was her and not Maggie? It's just I don't know. To me, is an interesting what if.
I don't think that he would have been any different. It's funny because you're saying about Negan, you can't just go around killing people. Well, Negan is basically saying to Fabian, you can't just go around killing people.
Well, you're right. Right?
I just wonder. Wait. Let me finish. I think that if he was threatening Renata, Negan still would have done what he did, because you can't just go around killing the leaders that you disagree with. And Renata's important to Maggie, and Maggie believes in Renata. And I think Negan doesn't like Renata or want to be part of her operation, but he always will support Maggie.
Okay, fair. That's what I'm saying. Like, right. I'm curious kind of what could have happened, and that makes sense to me too. I could also see Negan being like, go ahead, because Negan is a jackass sometimes. So yeah. But I think she might be.
And maybe if she were killed, then Maggie would step up and become the leader that Negan wants her to be, right?
Yeah.
So you're right.
At any rate, it doesn't matter, because that's not what happened. I just am, thinking about it. But shoots a guy in cold blood, kills him. And well, I guess not cold blood maybe isn't the right wording for that, but she shoots him at close range. How's that?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't sneak up on him. And the guy did snivel and cry for his life, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Wasn't the guy like, don't do it, which, okay, fair. That's what anybody would do.
Yeah.
But the guy was a big talker, and then he's like, no, don't kill me, but it's too late.
Yep, too late. Negan doesn't give second chances.
I have to say, there was a moment where I thought Negan might not do it.
Yes, I wasn't sure either for a little bit there, but he did. And now I think Renata has declared war on him, because she's like, I'm going back and getting other people, and I'm coming back for you.
Yeah, I don't think
she at least. Sorry, go ahead.
I think she overestimates her hand, because this is the guy that stole food from the community. And I think a lot of people are going to be like, not that upset that Negan did this.
Yeah. But at least she's not dumb enough to fight Negan on her own. I will say that. Like, at least she has some brains, right? She didn't just like attack him, which I could see her coming. You're coming with me, like, and trying to make him come with her. And like, that would not have went down well.
I kind of wish there was like a subtler approach to making her be this, like, I mean, I don't want to call her a bad leader, but Renata was pretty good, and they're making her kind of unlikable. Like, she's not only like, she's kind of humorless and annoying, right? And they're like, I feel like she doesn't have as nice a personality as she did a couple episodes ago, and they may be setting her up that.
Yeah, I think they want you to think she's a bad leader. Like, I feel like that's kind of the point, I guess. But I don't know. But I like B's. If Daryl killed someone because they were going to kill Carol, I'd be totally fine with it. You're right. I probably would too. So I shouldn't say anything.
Yeah,
very true.
But I don't know.
I don't know if I want to.
I don't.
We're both doing it at the same time. Sorry. Go ahead.
But I don't know if I want to like Negan for that.
Yeah. That's funny. But
yeah,
he did what needed to be done.
That's his role in the town, to do what needs to be done.
Yeah. So, well, the shit's gonna hit the fan. I think now.
Is it?
So.
I mean, I think Renata is
something's gonna. I mean, there's gonna be some kind of, like you said, like. Yeah, like I said, she's kind of declared war on Negan, right? Like,
I don't know about that, but she did say, like, I'm gonna go get some people, and we're gonna come back here, and what are they gonna do? Arrest him? I'm not really sure what her intention is, because either she didn't say, or because I wasn't paying attention. But
I think she meant arrest him, but I mean,
but so she may have some loyal, like, enforcers, but in general, like Fabian, this is a guy who was just forced to confess to stealing food, right? To taking a position of authority so that he could steal food, to abusing his power, right?
Yeah, and wasn't Negan one of the enforcers pretty much? So
yeah, and so like, I think people, I mean, we'll see. And also, like, if Renata's going to ask Maggie to choose between Renata and Negan,
she'll choose Negan.
I mean, I think she'll choose Negan, because not maybe because she likes him, because I think she understands him and what he did in this moment, right? Like why he shot the guy.
Right. I agree. All righty. I guess that is the end of this one.
Yep.
Let's move on to the arc.
Okay.
Let me get out. Oh, why are my folders not in alphabetical order? Hold on. I gotta sort it by name so I can actually tell where the hell SciFi is at.
I just watched the arc today. I, kind of wish AJ was here so he could talk about, Bryce some more, because this is the episode where we see for a fact Bryce is alive, right? Which, AJ was the first of us to mention it on that first episode where he was killed. Can we go back to B's question real quick? And just to wrap up.
Go ahead. I'm just fixing the picture. Go ahead.
B says, this is off topic, but maybe someone in the chat can tell me what the heck happened to Negan's wife and kid he had at the end of the main show. He sent them on a wagon train west. You might remember, I think it was in the beginning of Dead City, right? That he puts them, Annie, and the wife is Annie, the son is Josh. I forget the son's name.
I don't know.
But I think that, I don't remember exactly, but I think it's because the Civil War cowboy Babylon, what are they called? The Babylonians, the people that Babylon, New Babylon, like they were out to get Negan, right? They wanted to arrest him for his terrible crimes or whatever. And he sent them with a group that was heading west to like save their lives from being associated with him. And he said to them, I'm going to be on the next one. I'm going to follow you. Wait for me. But he was lying. And he went to New York instead.
Which is fine. But then when he was in New York last season at the end, they were going to come to meet him. It was after the Dama, or not after Dama, after he had taken control back from the Croat. And he sent them away. That was what was so stupid. Don't you remember that? Like
No, they never showed up, right?
No, they showed up and he said to turn them away. Because he was all like, I think, self-hating at that time. It was the end of the season. It was when he was fighting with them. I can't even remember exactly, but yeah, it was dumb. I don't know. I think basically they had that storyline with the wife and kids in the original series, and they didn't want to have it in Dead City because they want it just to be Maggie and him. So they're kind of nixing it, I think, which it is kind of in the way a little bit, but only because they didn't handle it well before, not because
it
needs to be gone. But yeah, I guess he's not going to see them again, which is kind of dumb. But all right, so on to arc. So this, I believe, is kind of where they're talking about her being a Gen
3.
Garnet being a Gen 3 clone. Hold on a second. I'm getting my castle stuff here. Make sure I have it. And the Gen 3 clones were the ones that went crazy. And that's why she's like, I can't be Gen 3. And she's like, yeah, you are. Whatever was done to her is what makes her not reacted like they did. And that's why that guy was trying to get her, because he wants to fix the clones.
Well, we don't know that.
Well, that's what they're making it sound like he told them.
No, actually, that is not what his wife said.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
She says exactly the opposite. She says, I think it's Garnet who insinuates that he wants to fix the clones. And she's the wife, whose name I forget. She says, oh, no, that's not what he said. He specifically said, when I find her, wait, Jamie, come on. He says, when I find her, it will solve all my problems. All my problems. She emphasizes the my problems. Miami Vice is out. His wife believes he's out for his own purposes.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. So obviously now Garnet's going to be worried, I guess, that even though whatever they did means that she's not reacting like the Gen 3 clone, she's probably worried that she will.
Well, I think it's that they degrade and they become psychotic. Like they're mentally degraded, right? They turn psychotic after a while.
Which it seems like has not happened to her. But even that, like you said, Miami Vice, you were calling him, he did say that implied that it could still happen. Just hasn't yet, but obviously I don't think that's going to happen unless they have something where they go, right? Yeah. So I think that's the extent of them.
Yeah,
their part in this episode is just to tell us that.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we have the guy that was brought back with Milan from the generator that exploded. And they know that he is in Angus's clothing. And they're trying to figure out what happened. I know there's some talk here about, I think it's about the generator, but they're blaming each other again. They're blaming the two different groups are blaming each other. I always forget the names of the groups, but the
GSA and the the Eastern Front and the GSA, right?
Yeah.
Eastern Federation. Eastern Federation.
Yeah. So they're blaming each other for what went down. They don't know what happened. They're trying to figure out, why they exploded it. And they also don't know who he is. They're like, he's not from my group. Well, he's not from my group. So it's just, there's a lot of those two back and forth. I mean, that's been from the beginning. The two groups hate each other. That's nothing new. But they're trying to find out who this guy is. And there's Bess. I hate Bess. Okay. So and this whole time when I kept asking you guys what her name was, I thought you said Bess, and then I seen the captions. I'm like, oh, okay, yes, her name is Bess. All right. So Garnett tells him she's sorry about them not finding his family. He was looking for somebody in his family, and he hasn't heard from them. But the other part of this is that oh God, I hate when I do that. Then I just go,
who are you talking about?
The girl that lost Bryce. I can't think of her name now. Ava. I'm Ava, like Ava. Sorry, Ava. I'm like, what the hell? So Garnett's, telling her she's sorry, and there's a lot through. I don't know if it was in this scene or not, but she does tell Garnett that, she found a signal and thinks he's alive. But I'm not for sure that was in this scene. That might have been later. Yeah. And then there's the part with Alicia wanting to go after Angus, and they haven't given up. They're still searching, but they kind of don't know what to do at this point.
Right.
And then the other part, I don't remember what they were saying there.
Oh, they're saying like it's beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, who knew? Like,
oh yeah, that's right. Saying the planet was really
nothing
pretty.
Throwaway scene.
Yeah, nothing important. All right, so then the scene with Sanji and Garnett is Garnett's pissed at her because she knew that she was Gen 3 and never told her. And see, this is where I wish I had rewatched a lot of the old stuff, because I don't remember a lot of the stuff with her. I didn't remember her working with the other doctor, I guess. Like, I knew that she had known stuff, but there's pieces I don't remember. But the idea is she knew from the one that had worked on Garnett and had experimented on her that Garnett was a Gen 3, and she did not tell her, and she gives her the excuse, I didn't want to upset you.
She knew when she came on board. She didn't know. She said she knew when she came on board. I don't think she knew any of it before. She wasn't involved in it.
No, I didn't mean that, but she knew because of that guy, the guy that did the experiment or whatever. But the point,
I think she knew because it was in her records, and then she talked to the guy. I don't think the guy was just like, "Hey, Sanji, guess what?"
No, I didn't. Yeah, that's not the way I meant it. I just meant that she knew about it because she had talked to him at some, and at any rate, she knew it. She didn't tell her. She gives her the excuse, "Oh, I thought you'd be upset." Like, it wasn't her choice to make. She should have told Garnett. She didn't have to tell everybody else. And I get that Garnett's pissed. Like, she has a right to be, right?
I agree.
I mean, isn't that kind? I mean, it's not. I hesitate to compare it because it's not the same thing exactly, but it's kind of like what she's yelling at her boyfriend for, where he's doing what he thinks is right and helps her, and that wasn't what she wanted. And it's the same thing with Garnett in that sense, that like it wasn't her choice to make.
Yeah, I mean,
I said it's not exactly the same thing. But
yes, you said that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a different story to be like, guess what? You're a type of clone that goes insane, and this guy's been experimenting on you. Like, to not share that is like, it's incredible. To not say anything.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, well, I didn't want to cause you anxiety. What? It's the lamest excuse ever, Sanji.
Yeah. But either way, she's made a choice for her that she should not have.
Correct.
Kelly points out that I skipped. Ben did recognize Vess, I think, that early on. I don't think he said anything till later, but he recognized her pretty like the first time he's seen her, I think.
Yeah, he does seem to recognize her right away. Yes.
Mm-hmm. I think this is them talking about the clones. He was saying, about how all of his were made to be used for organs and stuff, and trying to make her feel a little better.
He's saying, like, I know exactly how you feel. Like, I also, everyone I was raised with is gone. And she's like, how do you think it feels to be the only Gen 3 who didn't, like, go psychotic? And he's like, I bet it feels a lot better than all the other Gen 3s who did become psychotic.
Yeah, no, that was great. Oh, hi, Genesis. Welcome. I believe, tell me if I'm wrong, but I think Genesis is doing the Walking Dead or the Dead City show with Jen and Lori, I think, on Real Cinema Therapy. At least I think. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong, but I think so. But they have a Dead City show they're doing. I didn't realize they had started it. But yeah, they're doing Dead City breakdowns. All right. So this is more about them trying to decide what to do with him and, seeing if they can find out where Angus is. Sorry, my descriptions are like really, really off today. But go ahead.
I believe this might be the scene where Sanji says, well, I did learn something about him. He has 3 cochlea in each ear, and we only have 1.
Yeah, you can see that on the thing, the cochlea. Yeah. That's weird. Like, that seems definitely alien. Because the way she said it, like, it almost seemed like it could be like an anomaly, but I don't think somebody can be born with 3 cochlea. I don't think.
Yeah, she says he has 3 in each ear. We only have 1 in each ear, and she says also his vocal cords are different from ours, but she can't really like say how or whatever, right?
No, I'm just saying the way she said it to me at first, I thought she was trying to say like could be something else.
No, I don't think she's saying at all that he could be.
No, she's not. I said I thought at first that's what she was saying.
Okay,
it didn't make sense to me because it's impossible.
Yeah.
I'm assuming. I mean, look, we don't know for sure, but it seems that these people or these humanoids, whatever, are indigenous to the planet. At least now, it may have been that they landed there beforehand and their bodies adapted to this planet. I don't know. But, this group, it seems like, has been there. And obviously, Vess and Milan know something, it seems like, about, at least I'm assuming, when they had tried to stop Felix from looking for Angus and what's her face. It was because they knew, because they said something like there might be a bigger problem than we thought. So they know something about this group.
Yeah.
But he's got, all we know right now is he has Angus's clothes, and yes, he has 3 cochlea, and it isn't until a little bit later that he hears the sound from the generator and freaks out. That's a little bit later, so we'll get to that. This is where Ava's telling Garnet, hey, I got a signal from Ross, right? It's Ross.
Ross, yeah.
And she thinks that it is, no, it's all good, Genesis. She thinks that it is Bryce, which, look, I'm not entirely sure if they're showing this out of sync with the other story, and it is actually him at this point, because it makes it like he doesn't send the message till later, but I think it's just showing it.
I thought that was a flashback.
That's what I mean. I think it's showing it out of sequence. So I think it is Bryce. But yeah, she automatically assumes it's Bryce without any proof. And of course, Garnett at first is like, it isn't him. I saw him die. I'm sorry. You don't know that. But, it is somebody down on the planet, as they say later. But right now she's kind of being discouraging a little bit. And Ava just, can't accept it. But it's good she didn't, since, he's not dead.
Well, yeah.
And then we have Vess with Milan, and she sneaks off to try to talk to the alien guy and find out. I don't remember what she asks him, but she doesn't get very much out before Sanjay comes in. Do you remember what she asked him? I know she started interrogating him and yelling at him, but I don't remember what it was.
She's one of my least favorite characters, and when she comes on screen, I tend to not only do I find her I don't like her, but she's kind of boring also. And so when she comes on, I tend to zone out a little bit. I don't think it matters what she asked him because he doesn't say anything.
No, the point was she snuck over there while Sanjay was gone. Excuse me, and the other doctor were gone. Marsh and Sanjay were gone, but she kind of got caught. And she's like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "Oh, he woke up. I was checking on him." Yeah, bullshit. I wanted Sanjay to call bullshit too, but she didn't. And then we have Angus and Kelly, who are still in the cave at this point. And they, I think it may have even been here whenever they put the tray of food through, she tries grabbing the tray the shovel thing to push it in on. But it doesn't work the first time. So it's not really relevant.
Yeah.
All right. And then Ava fixes the generator and they're all happy it's working again. But then this guy starts screaming. And I guess because of the fact that he had 3 cochlea in his ear, I guess is what alerted Garnett to it. But she realized it was the sound coming from the generator. So she put these, I'm assuming, noise canceling headphones on his head, and it stopped it. This is where I was a little. Oh, hey, Jen, welcome. I almost I felt like there should have been more of these two trying to communicate. Clearly she's not trying to hurt him. She helped him. And yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was a little weird that she's not trying to talk to him and he's not trying to be like, why did you grab, well, I guess he tried to blow up their thing. So it makes sense that he's tied down, but I don't know. I just, for some reason, I feel like it was a little odd that she just put the headphones on him and left. Did you feel like that, or is it just me? It might just be me.
Yeah, I mean, we don't see anybody try to really be communicate in any way with him, right?
Yeah, because look, we know that Angus is captured, but they don't know that. I mean, it could be something that wasn't his fault, or he may have found Angus's clothes. They didn't even try to ask, which was
I think the fact that he's wearing Angus's clothes is very suspicious. He wore those clothes to infiltrate their community.
He did. But I'm saying
it's very obvious. And that's
I agree with you.
And that is the assumption they should be making, right?
They should. But I'm saying a lot of times on ARC, it's like they always try to help everybody. And I just was sort of surprised that they didn't even try to be like, why do you have Angus's clothes? They didn't even ask. Yeah, I think sometimes we zone out with teenagers. That's true. He's not a teenager, but no, or she's not a teenager, but I get what you mean.
Yeah,
for sure. So yeah, anyway, I just thought it was a little strange that nobody bothers, but they just keep him strapped down and he doesn't fight it either, but all right. And then there is Ian talking to Ava, all right. Good night, Genesis. Thanks for stopping by. So yeah, she's still, I forget what she says to him, but I think it's about Bryce. I don't remember. Sorry.
It doesn't matter. Who cares? I mean, whatever. It's just some conversation.
That's why sometimes I think I take the pictures so I can keep track of the episode and it helps me remember. Yeah. But sometimes I feel like I'm just like, these people were having a conversation. It's like I should have just left the damn picture out, right?
Yeah.
Because it's kind of not important. All right. So now we have Bryce. Here's the important part. Okay, look, we kind of at this point all theorized this was coming. Still was very happy this was happening and he was alive. Don't know what the hell any of it means, but we'll just say at this point he woke up. He's hurt bad, and this girl that I don't remember her name, the doctor.
Yeah, the medic, right?
That who we also know died, and I'm pretty sure her we saw get eaten, but I don't know if they actually showed it, so they might not have. But anyway, she says she stitched him up. I don't know. When you first saw her, did you think anything about the fact where I'm like, she was dead?
Yes, I was like, she's dead. Why is she not dead? And I thought, is like an alien taking on her as a disguise, right? Like I thought maybe it was an alien using her.
Yeah, I thought either it was one of the aliens, and they were using her to communicate or her to lie to him or whatever. But then I also thought, then part of me thought, well, maybe if they're saving, like if they saved him, maybe they could save her, and maybe they have something to heal her or something. I wasn't sure what, but yeah, it was definitely strange because she should be dead, but so should Bryce.
And fair. there's not a scratch on her.
You're right, there isn't. She is perfectly fine, but Bryce is not. He's worse for wear. He's got stitches everywhere where she stitched him up, and he's bleeding everywhere.
I mean, she was killed like pretty early by those spider aliens, right?
Yeah, she was already dead. That's what I thought. I was kind of like, what?
Yeah, she should have like injuries, right? Like,
yeah, for sure, yeah. But she seems to be fine, and they talk about trying to escape, and she tells him that. And this was the thing that really confused me. And I mean, granted, you're supposed to be confused, but it's not the alien bug things that are after them now. It's men in suits. So how did they get? I guess the biggest question is, how the hell did they get away from the bugs? Now, what'd you say? They called them raiders?
She calls them raiders.
That's what I thought, but then I thought maybe I was mixing it up with Silo, so I wasn't sure. Yeah. Okay, so they're raiders. So yeah, so this begs the question, how did they get away from the bugs? Or did somebody else or something else take them away from the bugs and save them, and now there's raiders? Like it's just not explained.
Well, she says that she dragged him, right? Like Bryce is like, how did I get here? And I think she says that she dragged him.
Okay, I missed that part.
I could be wrong, but I think that's what I remember.
No, you might be right. But I mean, if you even really like look at it or pay much attention to it, like you're right, or B's right. Like she's got, I think it was B that said it. Like she's absolutely pristine, and he's like covered in blood and cuts and stuff. So that should have been like a big, red flag of what the hell is going on right there, right?
Yeah.
Bryce things were confusing. I'm just glad he's alive. Yeah, I don't care if it makes sense. I just want Bryce to be back, so I'm good with it. But no, I mean, it's supposed to not make sense. Clearly, I mean, I
think so. I had some thoughts about like, I really at first were like, is there some kind of alien that's projecting her likeness to him, right, or taking on her body or whatever? I mean, there was a point in the episode, not right now, but like later, where I wonder, like, is he like had a bump on the head and he's imagining her, like because of his isolation and loneliness, and he's imagining her, but then he ends up sewing her arm, and that looked kind of real to me. So
yeah, I do think by the end of the episode, that's what I'm thinking is happening, that he's like hallucinating. But yeah, I wondered, is it somebody else pretending to be her? But then I also kind of questioned, if it is an alien, like, why is it pretending to be her? Like, is there information it needs? Or like, it didn't, yeah, like I said, it just didn't make sense. And then I said, part of me is like, well, if they saved him, maybe they saved her and they somehow had a way to heal her. But if they did, then why is he bleeding and she's not? Like, there was a lot of questions. Yeah. But they're hiding from men that have guns.
Well, people.
Well, yes, it looks like a man. I'm saying a man. It might not be a man, I guess, but it looks like a man. Humans. They appear to be humanoid, with guns and suits, and yeah.
And so at that point, I started to think, I don't trust this admiral, and I didn't know where the story with him is going, where it's going, where I don't like it's going. But I thought, is he really lied that he's an admiral? Was he one of these raiders? And when they caught him, he lied and said who he was.
Yeah. I hadn't thought of that, but yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
But then,
Or would have at this point. Clearly, that's
but
not.
then by the end of the episode, that's not. But
No,
yeah,
no, that's not it. But yeah, I just my biggest thing were like they're hiding from what appears to be humans. That was to me was the biggest like what? But yeah, we'll see more as the episode goes on. But you're right. At one point, he has to stitch her up, which I'm not sure if it was there or later, but he does. And then I tried to take a picture of it. You couldn't see it, but that's where she's trying to grab the
who's she, what? You mean Kelly
where
is trying?
Where Kelly's trying. I don't know what to call it. It makes me think of a pizza oven when they slide the pit. It's not what it is, but that's what it makes me think of. That they're sliding the food in on.
Kelly's like overly focused on. I mean, she's very focused on getting out, but like by forcing her way out. Whereas Angus is more like, let's solve this puzzle of getting out, right?
Yeah, which I'm kind of on Kelly's side there. Like you're captured. Try to get out.
She can't get out. She like almost broke her hand trying to get out. Like her way, her default is always the violent way, and it's not working.
It is, but I mean, I'm with her trying to find a way to get out though, and not just like accepting it, like Angus seems to be a bit.
He's not accepting it. Angus. They're not going to kill them. Angus is right. They want them alive for some reason. They're not going to kill them. Should they try to get out? Yes. Should Kelly risk her life to get out? I don't know.
No. Yeah, that's a better description. All right. So Leisha and Felix and Kimmy are. Hold on. Hold on one second. I'm going to turn my camera off while I grab the puppy.
Yeah.
I'm going to come in. So Felix and Alicia and Kimmy are looking for Angus still, trying to figure out where he is when Garnett gets the brilliant idea, which I knew right away what she was doing, which that was really smart that she did that, and they should have done that from the beginning, where she's like, let's just let him think that he's being let go so we can follow him, right? And she unties him in order to, or well, not unties him. She gives him, I take it back. She, I think, unties his hands and she gives him a knife in order to eat. And they watch him. And then interspersed, we also have the scene here with Ben and Vess where he's like, I know you, and I don't remember what rank he said she was.
Well, first he calls her, he's like, I recognize you from GSA, and she's like, no, I'm not in the military. And I think he might call her lieutenant or lieutenant command. Later he calls her commander, right?
Yeah. Either way, saying she had a rank, which she's saying she doesn't have.
Yeah.
So now I get mixed up with the two groups though. She is GSA. That's on her. That is her side.
Well, but she says she was a civilian. Like the GSA commanded the arcs and had all the staff, but like tons and tons of civilians were on these arcs, right?
Yeah. It's kind of interesting though. Like you got to wonder why she would hide it, because she's already in a position of power. So why hide if she was a ranking official? Like that.
We know why. I mean, we're gonna find out why, because she was part of some like black ops secret, like evil, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we find that later. We learn.
I guess because probably if she said it, people would look into it. And I'll start Kelly's comment here. But yeah, he starts asking questions and she's like, I wasn't, let it go. And clearly lets us know that she's lying. And here's her.
I feel like the dumbest thing you can say is let it go. Like as soon as you say let it go, you're letting him know that there's something there, right?
Right, exactly. So she lets that guy go, like gives him the knife, and which again, you if he's supposed to be a prisoner, like wouldn't it seem strange? I'm tied down, but they gave me a knife and walked away. Like,
well, maybe he thinks they're dumb. He wouldn't be the first like person to underestimate an alien species. Maybe he thinks they're just stupid.
Yeah, true.
Right?
It's true. If he is alien, I guess he might.
I mean, I think he's not alien. I mean, really, the people from the Ark are the aliens.
Yeah, true. To him, probably. Yeah. I don't think they're bad. I mean, we'll get to that when we find everything. But I don't think they're. I think they're just trying to figure out what's going on. All right. So he goes out, keeps the headphones on. Obviously, she watches them, And the other group, they watch him as he touches the stone, makes a weird pattern on it with his hand, like he touches it in different spots. And then a trap door opens and he goes down some steps, and they try to recreate it, but can't at this point. Stop chewing my shirt. I tell her to stop, like it's going to make her stop, right?
Yeah.
Today it was so funny early. I mean, it was funny, but I had to yell at her. She grabbed my sandal earlier, but the thing is, she's so small. My sandal is bigger than she is, and she's carrying it around, running around the living room with it, trying to sneak it away. I'm like, no, you can't have that. You're not allowed to chew shoes either.
Aw.
She says, I like to chew everything. It's like, no to my shoes, no to my shirt, no to my skin, because that's always, it seems to be the order it ends up. Here's where Bryce stitches her up. Yeah. And
so there was a part of me in this episode also that I was like, uh-oh, like he's stranded on this planet with a beautiful woman. Is this going to go in a direct? I thought she's going to try to seduce him.
Yeah, I kind of wondered that too, and was like, no, I don't need that. But
was it going to go in a direction that like they're going to get together and then like he's going to get rescued and whatever? Like I thought that it might be going in some sort of.
Yeah, no, same. But I'm glad it didn't. So we didn't have to worry about it. Let's see more with Vess and Ben here, and him not letting it go. But yeah, you're totally right. I mean, if you want somebody to not investigate it, don't say, don't investigate it. Like, of course they're going to then.
Drop it.
Like, oh no, you're wrong. You must have mistaken me for somebody else. And then move on.
Yeah, right.
All right. So they're trying to figure out the pattern. Alicia eventually figures out it was sound because of the whole
ear thing.
Ear thing, the cochlea thing. So she recreates the sound that they heard, or not that they heard, recreates the sound that no, I take it back. She doesn't recreate the sound. She says that there might be a sound, and she like kind of translates, I guess you'd say, the sound that's happening now. They just can't hear it. It's like in a different hearing range.
Yeah.
And it's basically a sort of like a song, I guess you'd call it, a sequence that is like, there's like a space for the note. So they have to press the rock to make
it's not a song.
It's a scale. It's a scale.
It's a scale. Yeah.
I don't know why I said it was a song. It's a scale. So yeah, they have to press that to let them in. It's like a lock. So basically it's like a lock that you had to be there, either really smart or their species to understand. But there the door opens. And of course they're like, we're going to go down in and find out. I don't think all of them go, though. I feel like
they all go.
Do they? I was thinking two of them stayed back. Okay, they'll go down. And then meanwhile, while this is going on, there is Sanji and Marsh talking. I don't for the life of me remember what the hell they're talking about.
He's like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, are you still mad? He's been sleeping in that office because he went home, and he's like, are you mad at me because I reacted the way I did? And I'm like, wow, that's like, you're not even owning what you did because I reacted the way I did. How about, are you mad at me because I did exactly what you asked me not to and I did it anyway? Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They seem to be on their way to patching things up.
Yes, they probably will. And this is where, I know she asked him not to do anything, but when he did this, I was like, okay, now you can punch him. Like I wanted to see him punch him now. The guy's like, oh, it's not your fault. Sanji was always a bitch. And I'm like, really? Like, do you want him to punch you in the face? But then again, maybe he did, because then he knows that Sanji will be mad at him. Who knows? But really, guy?
I mean, that kind of shocked me. It is sort of one of these typical things where, like, the abusive husband is like, look what you made me do. Why do you make me do this, right? Like, he's blaming his victim for making, like, that guy is the worst.
He is. And I don't know whether it was he wanted to upset him or whether it was he thought that he would, I don't know, side with him because he's a man. I don't know what his point was in that, other than now we hate him for sure, right? So yeah, he's a jackass and an abusive husband, but we already knew that.
Yeah.
So then we go back to the cave, and Angus and Kelly are still trying to get out, and Kelly does finally grab the person, or seems to be a person. Again, we don't know these are human, but grabs them, and I'm calling the person for the sake of it's easier to talk about. Pulls the person into the cell so they can get out. And then when they get out, there's a whoops, which I didn't get a picture of. There's a bunch of other people there. So they have not made it out. But again, they look human. And then
they're humanoid, right?
Humanoid, yeah. And then meanwhile, Alicia recreates this whenever they run into these people. She recreates the sound from the generator, knowing that it hurt their ears, and she blasts it. Hey, Debbie. She blasts it, and then they're like, oh, didn't he still have the headphones on? He must have taken them off.
Why would he have them on?
Yeah, but yeah, it makes them all scream. And then they run into Alicia and Angus, and they're able to get them out of there. And I have no idea why I took a picture of that, but I did. So, it looked cool. I think I was just like, well, that looks cool. So I did. And I left there. So back to Ava, who is still, for good reason, wants to go see if that's Bryce. And let's see, who were they talking to? Oh, I know what it is. When they come back, they're immediate. I think it was Vess only. I don't think the other guy did it. They, Garnett's like, this can wait till tomorrow. But Vess starts questioning him, how many people were, or how many whatever were there in the cave? Like, it's clear that she's, at least, I shouldn't say it's clear. To me, it seems like she's kind of like, how many are there so we can go kill them? That's what it felt like to me. Are they dangerous? Or, can we fight them? Like that, she's kind of looking at it from a tactical and doesn't know anything about them, but is immediately on that page.
I mean, I don't think
she's 100% wrong. Yeah, she's not wrong, but we know that she's probably bad, so it makes her wrong, right?
I mean, she's the mayor of the town. This guy attacked the town for no reason that at this point they know of, right? Like, he attacked the town, blew up their generator, kidnapped their people. Like, it's an aggressive stance. And is she wrong for being like, what she says here is like, when Garnett's like, cut it out, she says, we need to know what we're up against. And she's not really wrong.
Yeah, she's not really wrong. But let me ask you, okay, so in the other episode, her and Milan, it seemed like knew about these people, right?
Yes.
At least that's what it was implying. But here's my question. Maybe I took it different. I don't know. I thought that it was not, what that guy did was not meant to be aggressive. I think he blew up the generator because it was hurting their ears. I thought that was the implication.
Yes, well, they need that generator to live.
Well, but again, they didn't talk to them, and they don't understand that. I'm just saying, I don't think it was like an act of, war or something.
Yeah,
I think they did it.
But Bess doesn't have that information. And we don't know what she doesn't have that information. She does have some information. I agree with you that she seemed to know these people. She and Milan seemed to know that there were people there, right? They kind of weren't that surprised that, their whole, like, we're never going to see Angus and Kelly again is partly about, they seem to not want other people to know, right? Like, they know something and they're not letting on. But I think for everybody around them, it is not inappropriate for the governor of the town to be like, I need some information so I know how to protect us.
Yeah. I'm just, thinking ahead of probably how it's going to go. I'm guessing these people are probably peaceful, and she's going to want to go after him. That's what I think is going to happen. Is it? I don't know. Whoa. You okay? What's wrong? Hold on. Shh. Wait a second. She's choking. I got to go see why. I don't know what happened. I'll be right back.
All right. I can just keep talking about this show, but or take some comment. We don't really have any comments in the chat too much right now about this, but yeah, I don't like Bess, but I think like it was not that suspicious. And also I forget this guy's name who's from the EF, but he's right there with her. He wants information also, right? I mean, he seems like much more of a military type, and There's a fruit fly flying around me. I think,
Sorry, I'm back. She's getting her a drink. I don't know. She was leaning on my shoulder and she started choking. I'm not sure exactly what happened. Sorry, got scared.
Whatever. Well, good. I'm glad she's okay. And I'm glad you're back so we can move on from this shot that I can't talk about anymore.
It's fine. All right. So they're just like, you can wait till morning at least. And Garnett has forgiven, or well, maybe not forgiven, but she's willing to move forward with Sanji, and they're going to work together to figure out what it is that, made her better so they can try to, I guess, share it with the other clones, I'm assuming is kind of the, eventual point of that. But either way, she's willing to work with her. And then, of course, Ben comes to see Vess, and he tells her that he knows what's up and who she is. And she's like, I wish you hadn't have done that. And look, we knew at that point anyway, that it was coming. She stabs him. I mean,
remember,
he died awful quick if he's dead. I was kind of thinking
he used his Admiral codes to get her unredacted file. So this is where I had to admit he's a real Admiral from the GSA. He used his codes. He got her unredacted file. And this is where he recalls her, I think, Lieutenant Commander. And he says, I forget what group he says, I thought something was a myth. Not like the Red Brigade or the Dark Army or whatever she's in. Like, I thought that was a myth, that it was only rumor. But so apparently she's in some ultra secret part of the GSA that is so secret that, like, her files are redacted and everything. And she immediately kills him. So I was kind of surprised to see him die before he really ever did anything on the show, except
I would say though that yes, he's an admiral, and yes, he was a good guy, and
I don't know that good guy, bad guy. He just was an admiral.
He wasn't the villain, I guess, is my point. We thought he was lying and making shit up, and I don't think he was, because now he's dead. So
he was just an irritating jerk, but he wasn't a villain.
Pretty much.
That's fair, Jamie. You're right.
But he seemed to me to die. Look, I don't know how people really die from stab wounds, but on a television show, he seemed to die extraordinarily fast, didn't he? Because I thought either they were going to leave it that we didn't know if he was dead, or that he was maybe pretending to be dead for a minute so he could like get the drop on her, because he just immediately was like,
well, I guess she stabbed him in the spleen or the kidney or something and like got him, right? I guess she knows where to stab him. Kelly says, it's too bad that I actually started to like the Admiral in this episode.
That's funny.
Yeah. And it's always a little annoying when there's a character who is sketchy and weird like Vess, and she's got like a lot of secrets and is probably a villain. And then the first person who gets onto them, they kill, and nobody, like, the secret dies with them, right? Like, nobody knows now.
For sure.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
It was a pretty wide knife thing she used too. It might have been. I just thought, like, usually in TV they don't die that fast. Like I said, would they in real life? Yeah, probably. But it's just he was just like stabbed and dead. But he's gone. They're implying he's dead. So, sorry. Go ahead.
Implying, I get. I mean, he seemed to be dead.
He's supposed to be dead. Yeah.
And then the real giveaway that he's dead is that after he dies, Vess goes, "Damn." Because like now she's got to deal with his dead body, I guess, right? She's like, damn. Which is pretty funny.
I guess I say implying because it feels like lately we think somebody's dead and they're not. It's like Bryce, like it implied he died. He did not die, but no, I do think this guy.
Bryce was implied because we didn't really see him die. This guy was like him die. He's dead.
No, yeah, I do think this guy's dead. I'm just now joking about it. I do think that guy's dead. All right, so then Bryce again, and the raiders coming after them. It shoots through the door, gets the medic. The bullets go through her, and then he grabs the gun off of the other one and shoots at it or whatever. But the point is that he goes to check on her and help her, and she disappears. Now, if he had not interacted with her, I would have said maybe she was a hologram or something, but she definitely was solid. So I think he is totally like, either he's hallucinating for some specific reason, or this is how his mind was dealing with it, is he imagined her and that she sewed him back together, and he really sewed himself together.
Yeah, I think he could be imagining it because the Admiral never mentioned that there were these raiders on the planet that who you have to really watch out for, right? Like, that seems to be like a huge thing for him to have left out.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. He could, like, if he is, the thing is if he is imagining it, like, we don't even know how much of it, I guess, is the thing.
Yeah. Or why?
Yeah.
Like, is he injured? Like, he hasn't, I don't think he's been there long enough to be like suffering, like having a mental break from being alone, right? Like, he hasn't been dead that long. Well, we don't really know the timeline on the show. Like,
no, right.
Like,
but I mean,
since
he
he
could
died,
it could be a lot of things.
Since he died, Garnet took her ship, goes in another direction, meets the clone ship, gets in a fight. The Admiral, like, there's a mutiny, all this clone business. Like, it takes place in 2 episodes. It feels like it happens in a day, but I guess it could have been 6 months, right?
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I mean, are there even really raiders? We'll have to wait.
I'm going to go with imagination for now. I don't know what.
Yeah, but you think the raiders' the imagination too? Because I don't know. I thought it was possible that that's actually happening, and the only part that he imagined was that she was there helping him.
Well, I just can't imagine that there are raiders there that weren't there when the Admiral was there, or that the Admiral would somehow forget to mention it.
Well, to be fair, we don't know that he's in the same spot, though, right? Like, I mean, maybe something beamed him up and he's elsewhere. We talked about that. Like, is he still on that planet? We don't know where he's at, right?
I mean, he appears to be on the planet, I think.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, that's where he's seeing himself, whether he really is or not. I don't know. But I wondered if he wasn't really on the planet anymore. Like if somebody grabbed him or something. I don't know.
Well, but nobody grabbed the Admiral when he was on Ross. Like, he's on Ross. He has to be on Ross. How could he be someplace else? Like, how would they ever find him then if he's not on Ross?
I don't know. I'm just talking about before we said maybe like a ship or something beamed him up. I'm just going by what we said before. I don't know that makes sense.
That when I wasn't here, because I don't remember.
Maybe because we talked about it and said like that maybe somebody was going by or something. And yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I don't recall that. I think I wasn't here when you guys talked about that.
You might not have been. It might have been this week you weren't here. Sorry, squeaky door. So I know you can hear that one. It squeaks. Either way, that is Ava gets the help message. But yeah, it's not showing him physically sending it. So you're right. He might totally be. It probably was a flashback. But I'm looking at this now, and this is very interesting. And I'm guessing you probably don't know this, and I don't know how many people looked at this. But Ross is the name of the planet, right?
Yes. Yeah, Ross is the planet.
Okay, why does it say?
I think it's actually called Ross 1, right?
Okay, well, the message says source Ross, James. Like it's a person.
Bryce.
So
James Bryce is on Ross.
Oh, so you're saying that means James is calling from Ross. Maybe. It could be. It's just interesting the way it says that. Like, I didn't even notice that until now. It says Ross James. So very interesting.
Yeah.
Because she didn't mention that to Garnet, which I don't know if we're just, it's like something that I picked up on because I looked at the screen or she
maybe it's something they put on the screen that we're not. I mean, 99% of viewers are not going to see that or catch that, right? It's not big enough to really. And like as Kelly said, the message Ava gets is from Ross. So he has to be on Ross, right? Like Ava says the message is on Ross. She said numerous times in this episode that she's getting
right. If it's really, I don't know. Part of me, and I don't know. My mind sometimes thinks of weird things that I'm like spitting out. I'm just wondering, like, is it possible that somebody scooped him up and like they're trying to get them to come there and like it's the bad, whoever the raiders are or the aliens or something, and that they're excuse me, hold on. like, I don't know. Part of me is wondering, like, could it be that they have him and they're pretending to be him calling for help? You know what I mean? Like, that's why I'm saying, like, it could be Ross and not be him. But I don't know that what I'm saying.
Then why wouldn't you just keep him in a cell? Why have this whole thing with like this hallucination or
I don't know. Because like I said, he could even be in a coma or something. But if he called for help, I don't know. I'm just thinking of different scenarios. I don't know that they make sense to anybody but me.
Okay. All right.
But I don't know. It's just weird that it has it like it's a name. And because I feel like if she looked at that and she saw it said James, like, why didn't she say it says it's from James? Like, it's just an odd thing.
Maybe the planet is named. I don't know. But I don't think that viewers are intended. Like, sometimes they're just filling out stuff on a screen. I don't know that we're watching a show that is giving us subtle clues in the background like From is.
True.
This is not that show, I don't think. But I could be wrong. We'll see. Maybe you're right.
I don't know. It just stood out to me as odd. So it is what it is. All righty. Well, that is the end of arc. I guess.
I mean, so what happens at the end is that Ava says to Garnet, like, I'm getting this message. We should go to Ross and find him. And Garnet's like, he's dead. And then but then they agree, well, someone needs help. Someone on Ross needs help. Maybe Bryce is dead, but someone needs help someone's asking for help on Ross. So
yeah.
And their whole mission is to help people and save them and bring them to home base. So
it is. And clearly they didn't learn their lesson with the Admiral. I'm just teasing, but I'm laughing because that was kind of the issue before what they did. I think the earlier message was just some noise or static. This is new message. Yes. Sorry. And I know you put it up. Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. There's only two.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Kelly. The first one, she kept like playing. It was like noise or something. And she said that she heard something in it. And it was more just Ava trying to make something out of it. I think that it wasn't. But at this point, it definitely is a help me message.
But the message they got from the Admiral was help, right? Like,
no, the message they got from the Admiral was don't come.
Yeah.
Remember? Right. Like, it was like, it's not safe. So definitely.
And it was like, don't come here. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is the end. All right. Well, now we have
now you're gonna give me 5 minutes to talk about Strange New Worlds.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. You talk about Strange New World and I'll do the other one after.
I'm really with AJ not here, I'm really only gonna take a couple messages to talk about it. Strange New Worlds, this was I did exchange a couple messages with AJ about it today because he has seen it. I think there are probably people out in the world who thought this was a good episode and were delighted by it and appreciated it. I did not appreciate an episode in which this happened. Everyone on the ship got turned into puppets. It's the typical Star Trek transporter mishap that has happened so many times across so many series. And on this episode, on so many Star Trek series, and on this episode, there was a puppet. For reasons, there was a puppet in the transporter, and there was a mishap, and they all got turned into puppets. I hated this episode. I'm a little sick of. I'm a little tired of the concept episode. This show has always done concept episodes, like a couple a season. It now seems like this entire season is concept episodes. Last week was the film noir. The week before was the stoner comedy. The week before that was I do think the Ghost Ship one was good, the first one of the season. But for me, the puppet episode, like can we just have a normal episode? Does every episode have to be a concept episode? Could we just have a normal like mission of the week episode? I think that, and this isn't even new, right? Like multiple reviewers commented that this was done 20 plus years ago when Angel got turned into a puppet on the Angel show. I do think the puppets were fantastic. The Jim Henson Company, Jamie made all these puppets and they look really great. They do look like the crew members. I do not have a picture of the best one of all was the Pelia puppet. They only dropped 4 photos, and I only put 2 up. I did think Ethan Peck was great as, Jamie, you're posting Angel did it, so you've seen it, or you've seen that episode. B says, I didn't hate it, but I was sitting there going, really? Puppets? Is this Star Trek Goes to Avenue Q or Sesame Street? I agree. And I thought it was very silly. Like, it becomes very comedic. I think, it's an episode in which the captain, he doesn't act like a Starfleet captain at all. He acts like a cuckoo puppet, which I don't know if when you get turned into a puppet, maybe you act like a comedy, like you don't act like yourself. I thought Ethan Peck was great. The conceit is that everybody except Spock gets turned into a puppet. We don't really know why. It's never really explored why it didn't affect Spock. And Ethan Peck he's just so great as Spock. He's been playing him for years now, and he does a really good job of playing how Spock would be in this situation. But overall, it was I didn't like it. And then, Jamie, I don't know if you're listening, but guess what happened at the end? At the end, it turns out it was all a dream that Spock had, which, if you've listened to this show before, you know that might be my number one thing that I hate on all of TV is when they wake up and it was all a dream. B agrees, yes, the puppets were really well done. What did it for me, though, was the ending. Spock dreamt it. Yes, look, it's ridiculous that they could be turned into puppets in the transporter, but you could make up some Star Trek blah, blah that we could kind of go with it, right? But to be like it was all a dream is just so annoying. And so none of this ever happened. And also, how could he be having a dream when he's not even in some of the scenes? Like, in a dream, if it's Spock's dream, Spock should be in all of it. And there are scenes where other characters do stuff of their own, right, on their own volition without Spock even being present. So that's all I want to say about it. AJ will be back next week. B says that did make me almost hate it, except I didn't sit there and hate it the whole time. I think there are plenty of people who didn't hate it the whole time. Like, it had a level of comedy. B had the same thought that how can Spock be dreaming it if he's not in every scene? There's a level of comedy. I don't always appreciate comedy, and I don't appreciate broad comedy. And there was a lot of silliness and absurdity in this episode that always isn't the kind of comedy that speaks to me. I think that there are probably people that found, B, you didn't hate the whole thing. There are parts of that were kind of funny, I guess, parts of puppets launching themselves. I guess I just we only have 11 more episodes of this show. We have 3 left in this season and 8 next season. And I'm just a little tired of the high concept episodes. And I really just want to have a normal episode. B, I really wanted to scream when everyone was worried the captain was dead, and puppets don't die from lack of oxygen. It's true, right? They throw him out at the airlock and nothing happens to him because he's a puppet. Now, it's never explained how did he get back inside. They rescue the captain off screen and he just somehow gets back inside the spaceship. Whatever.
If it was a dream, why does it matter?
Right. Yeah. Well, it's just like a big part of the episode is we're puppets. We have soft hands. We can't do anything. We can't fly the ship. We can't open the door. We can't do anything because we're puppets. And Spock has to do everything for them all the time. But somehow they manage to get him back in the airlock and get him back on the ship. So, it's a little
you talk about, though, I heard you talking about did they have to each have a theme? I have to say that when I am getting the pictures for the thumbnails and I'm looking at the episodes, I was wondering why is each episode always a crazy thing?
Yeah.
But it seemed like they all were. It isn't normally like that then. I just assumed maybe it's crazy each week.
I mean, they always did one or two, a couple in a season. It just feels like this season there's also every season they do a Spock hijinks episode. So in this episode, Spock's fiance T'Pring comes on the ship, and she's like, "I'll come on the ship, but no hijinks this time." And then like she gets turned into a puppet, right? She gets turned into she gets turned into, she's in this picture. See the big pointy ears on the left? That's T'Pring. And there have been other episodes where she comes on the ship and like all hell is always breaking loose on this. It's like some crazy comedy, whatever is happening on this ship all the time. And it's kind of a thing that they do once a season. But like on one of them, everybody got turned into Vulcans, and on another one, whatever. But they seem to be doing
the one who had tattoos all over his face, and the one was the chiaroscuro, or however you say it, one. So
there was like that one with that was like the drunken like stoner episode. Like they're doing it every week. And can I just get my episode of Star Trek once in a while in between? This is supposed to be, you know, not as highly serialized as Discovery was and some other Star Trek has become. And it's supposed to be a throwback to like the mission of the week that the original Star Trek was. But the mission of the week now always has to have some sort of genre or concept or silliness. And I just want my, you know, like B says, just like last week, I want a Star Trek like Star Trek episode. Can we just be in space? B, I want Carol Kane's puppet, though, even though I was annoyed that we finally got her character on the show and she's an effing puppet. Yeah, she's not on very often. Her puppet was awesome. There were no pictures of her puppet in the small amount they released. Her hair was insane. That puppet was great. Looked great. All the puppets look great. They did, like, look at the captain's hair. They did, like, the Jim Henson, they're the best of the best at these puppets, right? They did a really nice job with the puppets. I just could really do without this episode.
Yeah, seems weird. But yeah, I remember I've only seen, I think, like 2 episodes of Angel, and that was one of the episodes of Angel.
Yeah, there's actually
brought me to watch it.
There's an awesome clip on YouTube where Puppet Angel gets in a physical fight with Spike, and it's pretty awesome work by James Marster, is like rolling around on the floor with this like angel puppet, and you know, being beaten up by an angel puppet. But like, I guess if you're going to do a concept episode, do something new with it. And I guess Puppets in Space is new, but I just feel like there are too many of these things that are not they've done a musical episode. They did a crossover with, is it Prodigy, the cartoon episode, where like there like was cartoons happening on this show. Musical, the noir episode from last week. There's one that they were sort of like medieval people or something. To me, there's just too many. And can we just have a normal like mission next week where they have to go and like go to some planet and save some people?
I get that though, but like at least they had the musical, right? Like the musical, I was gonna say, if they have like themed episodes, musical could be cool, but they already did that.
Last year or the year before. And to be fair, in this cast, there are people who've won actual Grammys and been on Broadway. Like this cast almost everyone can sing in this cast. And so that was fine, because at least it was kind of a dumb plot, but at least they're good singers, right?
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyway, AJ, I wish AJ was here if we could talk about it. The musical one was the one to choose. They did it a while ago, and now they're like, I mean, it would be great to have one concept episode every season, right? Wouldn't that be great? One every season, and you look forward to it. Look, yeah, this is episode like,
I mean, maybe if there were like 22 episodes or something, then you wouldn't care so much. But when they don't get very many, I get that.
Yeah. So, and the show is almost over, right? Like the season was split. We'll get 3 more and then 11 next season. And like, we have plot to cover. We have to get to where they are when the original series begins, right? Which there's a few developmental things that have to happen, like to see Kirk really develop into this guy who can be the captain of the Enterprise. That guy is not there yet. And some other things. So I think we'll table for next. AJ will be back next week. We might talk for a few minutes about this, and then the next episode. There was some content in this episode that has to do with like Spock, like exploring his Vulcan side and studying logic, and he breaks up with his current girlfriend, and there's some Spock development that goes on in this episode. But I think we can hold it until next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, and you guys can even talk a little bit about it when he's here if you want to.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna talk a little bit about this week's Lantern. I don't know that we have to go deep into it. I don't even know if AJ's still watching it. I'm trying to find which picture.
I don't think you have Kiara, but
I have a couple
Yeah.
pictures, but so let's just kind of talk, I guess, because we don't have like the pictures to go in order to talk about it. So I was going to ask you because I don't know if I missed something on the screen. Like at the end of the first episode, it shows how appears to be dead, right? Did it say like X amount of time later?
Yes, there's a title card. There's a title card that says 2026, 25, okay. 26.
That's right. And this was like 2016 or something. The rest of the story,
yeah.
right? Okay.
16 or 18, yeah.
All right. So yeah. So then he died because I thought that was. I was thinking at first that meant he wasn't dead, but I guess he still could be dead then. All right. We'll have to wait to see, I guess, with that. But so a lot of this is still him, trying to figure out what to do with the training.
Him
being oh shit, now that you said that, I like knew his name until you said that.
Oh, not
John Stewart. Yeah, John Stewart.
Stewart, yeah.
Is how being an ass to him, he makes him go get his lantern. He's trying to kind of get him out of the way while he's investigating things. So there's that part of the story. And then meanwhile, Hal is going to try to interrogate Garrett Dillahunt's character. What the heck?
Is it Moran? Moran?
Macon. He goes to his farm to try to intimidate him, and he actually shoots at him. I was surprised he shot him.
Well, this is deep into the episode after he has already stolen all the corpses and done a whole bunch of other shit, right?
Oops. Yeah. Yes, he steals corpses
after he's figured everything out.
Yeah, right? I wasn't necessarily going in order, but he steals the corpses from the morgue in order to test them on the football field because he's trying to figure out how Macon's people knew that they were alien in the first place. And here, the metal detector on the field is actually an alien detector. And I guess I was really slow because I just thought they were going to say that like the aliens have metal in them, and I'm dumb. I didn't get that it was just, oh no, these are actually alien detectors. So yeah, the idea is that that's how he finds out that they knew they were aliens. And even he didn't know for sure they were aliens. He just had a feeling. Mm-hmm. So the reason he goes to Macon's farm is to try to force him to tell him what this tech is. But he just says, it came from his boss, that whole, it's an NDR thing and will not, or NDA, sorry. And won't tell him anything. And he actually shoots at him. So he should have listened to the sheriff when she said, this isn't going to go well. I mean, I think we all knew it wouldn't go well. Yeah. But that's that part of the story. And look, Hal is abrasive. I like it though. Like he's an ass, but I like it. I enjoy his interaction with the people. But I get why he fights with everybody fights with him. But the judge has they've paid the fine. I think they paid a fine. And so he got out of what he
bail. He was given bail.
He was given bail, but whenever the sheriff's husband said to him something like that, it was taken care of. I thought they meant that the case was over. Maybe they were still talking about the bail.
Yeah, the judge says, I'm setting bail at whatever. Don't leave town, Mr. Jordan. And that's
right. But whenever he talks to him in the town meeting, he says that it's okay if he leaves town now because he says they've taken care of it.
Oh. Well, I guess they would like him to leave town. Yeah.
Yeah. Macon wants him to leave town because he doesn't want him to find whatever it is he has on the farm. So there's that storyline. Then the other storyline that's what we find out is with John is grabbed. And there's also the thing with the bird too. I did like the thing with the bird that he creates the bird. And he's like, to know if your test is that you have to keep this bird alive till you get back. And we find out after, I guess he shouldn't have been able to do that, which I don't understand how he did that, which I guess we're not supposed to understand that. But he created the bird and kept it alive. And even though, or kept it real, I should say, not kept it alive, kept it really there, even though he didn't have the ring with him because Hal had the ring. But he flies to his, where Hal lives, in this humongous mansion that apparently, according to him, somebody gave him because he saved somebody in their family. But he's got this huge mansion, and he goes and he gets the lantern, and he also gets his I want to say costume. I guess it's not a costume. His uniform, this Green Lantern uniform. Even though he tells him not to, he brings it back. But he's grabbed by these people that now I've already forgotten and can't remember exactly what
Guardians,
it was.
right?
The Guardians. No, I don't think they're Guardians because were they supposed to be Guardians? I didn't think they were.
I think they're also aliens because their civilization was wiped out by the Manhunter, right?
Yes. Yeah, they ask who the Manhunter is. They said that there's somebody pretending to be somebody else. It's actually a Manhunter, which is another race of aliens that wiped out their race of aliens, was how I took it.
Yes.
And they give him some kind of, I guess I don't know what it was. I thought it was an injection, but it somehow makes him experience, I guess, the grief of their loss of their whole planet.
Well, I think it's also the knowledge and the history, not just the feeling of grief, but like, I took it that it's almost like he got their memories, not really, or he like kind of saw it all happen, like not their individual memories, but sort of the cultural memory of it.
Yeah, of how Mindhunter committed genocide.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah.
So they're also threatening him. They're like, you have to go find this alien or whatever.
Well, the threat is like if we can't find it, we just have to blow up.
Yeah, we're gonna blow up the town or blow up half of Nebraska or whatever in order to kill him. So I'm taking it, if I understood it right, that the guy that was arrested on the football field was one of them, right? Like that was what his secret mission was, or whatever.
Yeah, that's who they were, and then Macon found out and annihilated them, right? Killed them. Had his guys kill them.
Because Macon is like against, I mean, look, in this case, in this show, the aliens are supposed to be bad, but I mean, or at least that's what they've, made it seem like.
Those guys.
But Macon is like after any alien that he thinks is any alien because he thinks it's a threat.
So I'm not sure I feel the same way, but we can talk about that later.
Well, I don't know whether they are a threat. I'm saying well, that's not so true though. I was going to say Macon thinks they're a threat, but I don't know. Macon could have some completely other agenda. We don't really know. But
so I have a theory on that agenda. So we'll keep going and then I'll tell you at the end.
Okay. Well, trying to think what else. Like I said, I wasn't really going in order. I was just kind of.
Oh, well, so what's his name? Stewart? Is that his name?
John Stewart.
John Stewart. He basically, these guys are like, we need to recruit you, and we can't tell Hal because they think Hal might be somehow involved, right?
Yeah.
They think Hal.
There's the guys there.
Yeah, they think Hal could be involved, maybe in protecting the Manhunter, or that he might know who the Manhunter is, because why is he showing up here and everything? And so that's why they're recruiting John instead to help them, right? But John goes immediately to tell Hal, which let's put a pin in that for a second, because I do, if we could spend before we're done just a couple minutes talking about their relationship, I would love to talk about that for a minute. And John immediately goes to him and is like, well, these guys think this, these guys think that. I don't think Hal's involved, because the way Hal immediately reacted, like, he's like, wait, what? They told you what? Wait, I gotta go. Like, and then he puts on the suit in the next scene. Like, I don't think Hal's involved.
I don't think I have a picture of him with the suit, just with the
lantern.
Oops. Yeah, just with the lantern. Yeah, what is that one though? That looks like it must be the same. Okay,
that's what you need the lantern to recharge the ring.
Yeah. Which to me, like, this is the only part, like, there's very little of this that's like superhero-ish. Not that it necessarily matters, but as I told AJ last week, like, I don't know what I expected, but this kind of show was not what I expected at all. Because it doesn't feel like a DC superhero show.
Okay,
I
so
like
none of us have read Green Lantern, so we really don't know what Green Lantern should be like, right?
Well, yes, right. But I mean, it doesn't feel like a DC superhero show to me.
Okay, but you know what? Wonder Man doesn't feel like a Marvel superhero show, and Daredevil doesn't feel like a Marvel superhero show, and Punisher doesn't feel like a Marvel superhero show, right?
I mean, they still, I don't know. They sort of do. They sometimes do. I don't know. This is like so different and so weird, but I kind of like it. And I like him a lot, Hal, but like I said, I like the actor from Early Edition.
I mean, I like Kyle Chandler a lot. Also, he's very likable.
Yeah.
Everyone's very
He is, even though he's a complete asshole in this. And I like his I don't know if this is why are the pictures not changing? There we go. I like his relationship with the sheriff. And it's interesting too, because he's clearly, to me, seems to be flirting with her, but she seems, I thought at the beginning liked him too, but she's married. And so I don't know. Like, I think that there's supposed to be like some flirting going on, but I don't know that there's going to be anything of it. I thought at first she was divorced, but she's not.
I don't think that's a happy marriage.
No, it's definitely not a happy marriage, but she's not, like, I thought at the beginning of the show, the way they did it, I thought it was supposed to be her ex-husband, but it wasn't. It's her husband.
Yeah, I mean, I mean that doesn't mean nothing can come of it. I mean, we saw a sex scene in the first episode, right? So
her father-in-law, that's wife,
when we saw Stewart had sex with, turns out to be Mrs. Macon, right?
Yeah, her father-in-law's wife.
So, okay, so a couple things about this show. I do find it kind of slow. Like, I don't really mind that. Like, I don't think it doesn't feel superhero. There's a guy who flies. It definitely feels like a superhero show. The guy can fly.
Yes, but that's the only, that's
he didn't even need the suit to fly. And the only reason he didn't fly previously is because Green Lantern, I don't know if the comic book has this stupid thing where the ring has to be recharged. Like, I don't know why it's not just a magic alien ring that works all the time. I can't believe. To me, the most shocking thing of these 2 episodes was that his ring has to be recharged. That's kind of dumb. But I guess they're stuck with how it was written in the 60s and they have to follow it, right?
Yeah, I do think that. I mean, I don't know for sure, but just trying to remember from the awful movie I saw a long time ago, I think that the ring being charged by the lantern, I think, is a thing. I'm pretty sure that.
Well, yeah, I think so. And you know what? I never knew why he was called the Green Lantern when he just has a ring or whatever. I'm like, why is it called the Green Lantern? Oh, because he has an actual lantern. I never knew that.
Yeah.
So, and the way that Hal is a total jerk to John all the time. So there's this bit in the previous episode where he talks about, you're never getting this ring until I die. Like, he doesn't, the bit that you have to train your replacement, and he doesn't really want to be replaced, right? Like, he's not like, I think I should take on a trainee. Like, it's part of the job that you have to take on a trainee, and he doesn't really want to because he just wants to be the Green Lantern forever, right?
Yeah.
I guess. Or he doesn't want to think about his own death and plan for his own death. I don't know. But
it's weird, but I kind of like that. It's different. That's the part to me that, like, makes this interesting.
And just because, like, you're a good Green Lantern, if you are, doesn't make you a good trainer, right? Just like just because you're good at your job doesn't mean you're good be at teaching someone how to do your job, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I think part of the problem is also that John, we saw that he was raised in a very structured environment that was about teaching him certain things. And this is not this is, if you consider Hal to be a father figure, I don't think he is, but he's very different from the father who raised John, right? Like,
for sure, yeah.
So there's that.
The question I have is, I guess John trusts him, but there was the whole conversation with Macon's wife where she said, like, that if he had to ask if he could trust him, that answered that question. But he clearly goes and tells him about the mine hunters. But part of me wondered if part of the reason he goes to him is more of like an authority thing. Like, I feel like he appreciates the fact that he's his boss and like he does what he says, whether he agrees with it or not, just because he's grown up in the military. And I kind of question, like, does he actually trust him? I think he does, but only maybe to a certain extent.
You think it's more because John like respects chain of command, kind of?
Yeah. Yes, that's what I mean.
That. I agree with you. So I think that Macon is hiding something on his ranch that he's protecting. I don't think he really is just a guy that hates aliens. He's hiding something on that ranch. I think his wife is the manhunter.
Could be. Yeah, I thought that at one point. I think, or he could be, but that seems too easy. So yeah, I kind of wondered that at one point.
I think his wife is the manhunter.
But I don't think if she is, I don't think he knows it. Do you?
Oh yeah, I think he knows it, and he's protecting her. That's why he's so all about protecting his ranch and not letting anybody in there, and also why she says there's this conversation about why she's married to him, and she talks about the things he can give her, and like, I love my husband, I love what he gives me. I think what he's giving her is like protection and hiding her. He talks about the person who provides this ranch, and I can't talk about it or whatever. I think it might be her.
I definitely thought that. I didn't think through all the details, but I did kind of wonder if either him or her is the Mindhunter. But the only thing is if one of them is the Mindhunter, that is like really, really obvious. So part of me hopes they really don't go with that, because it seems really.
I mean, that's a good point. Really to figure that out in episode 2 would be like really annoying, right?
Yeah, which makes me think. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's badly written. I shouldn't say like it wouldn't be, but I don't know. But it makes me wonder if like it's something completely different, because we don't have a whole lot of information yet. We don't even know anything about the Mindhunter other than what these other aliens say.
It's Manhunter, right? It's not Mindhunter. It's Manhunter.
Manhunter.
Oh, no, did I hear it wrong? Could I be wrong? Is it Mindhunter?
No. Now that you said that, I'm confused. I thought it was mine. It might be me. I don't know.
I thought it was
a bad alien. It might be Manhunter. I'm thinking Mindhunter because that's a TV
show, right? Yeah. Why can't it just be called like the alien bounty hunter or something, right? Like
Magnus or Galactus says that she would be a bit too on the nose, so I think it's a misdirect. Okay, it is Manhunter, not Mindhunter. I'm sorry, Manhunter. Yeah, I guess we'll find out.
So it would be, you're right, it would be too on the nose, and it's a little too early to I mean, Jen kind of agreed with me that Zoe is the Manhunter, but it is kind of early in this season.
Who knows? Maybe it'll end up the sheriff is, and then that'll be like a completely like what the fuck moment.
So and I don't know how much this is. Do you think Carrie could be the Manhunter?
Who's Carrie? I got to look up who Carrie. Oh, the sheriff. So yeah, I think that's a possibility. But if it is, I feel like they did it. At least at this moment, if it is, I think it's for like a shock value. But maybe there'd be clues later if it is. I don't know. I could see that. Yeah, I just didn't know the names. I'm just calling her sheriff.
I mean, could a person be the Manhunter and not know it?
I don't know. I wonder if it necessarily even has to be human, because said that they can take any shape. Like, could they be like hiding? The way that they said could take any shape, just the way it was worded made me wonder, like, could they be hiding as an animal or something?
Like they're one of the horses that rode up?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. That was what I thought, the way he worded it. It was weird.
So, yeah. The end of the episode, like, raises questions, because as soon as Hal hears this, as soon as Hal hears this, he puts on the suit for the first time in the entire show. Okay, so Jen says the Manhunter knows it's the Manhunter. There's only one. They are also trying to kill aliens. Are they like? So
they annihilated that race, but are they after all aliens? I don't know.
One thing that's not clear to me is how long the Manhunter has been in hiding in Nebraska. Like, it's not clear to me, did this Manhunter just come around like last week or 20 years ago? Like, how long has the Manhunter been around hiding? And if it's been around a long time, why is it not killing anyone? Like, it's not killing humans that we know about. Jen says, yes, the Manhunter is building an army. Do we know that from the show, or do you know that because you've read the comic?
I think they said he was building an army, but
okay.
I don't remember all the details. I was trying to do. I had to do some other stuff while I was watching this again, and I did not get every little thing.
I watched it twice, but so the Manhunter is building an army. I don't know how long he's been around. So Hal hears this and he immediately like puts on the suit, which we haven't seen him do, and he flies to this like galactic prison out in space, and he goes to see Sinestro. Now Jen says, I love that we got Sinestro, which makes me think that Jen has read these comic books, because I'm like, Sinestro. And Magnus says, yes, Sinestro Corp is legendary.
Okay, so Sinestro was the leader of the coup.
The guy's name is Sinestro.
Yeah, but he was like, he
tried to lead the Guardians, right? And they sent him to prison. And Hal helped them put down the down and send him to prison.
Yeah.
So Hal goes to see him, and he says,
he's like, what have you heard about the Manhunters?
Yeah, and Sinestro says the Manhunter is only your second biggest problem. How's Jon Stewart? And so that, like, I don't think Jon Stewart is the Manhunter, but could he be?
No, they're saying, I guess well, yeah, but I guess he could be lying. I don't know. I assumed when he said Jon Stewart, like, is his biggest problem, that it more was like, because he's trying to take his job. Like,
okay, but that's how it works. You train your replacement, so when you die, there's one ready to go. Like, I'm sorry, like, you don't like that the ring is going to choose somebody. You like that's the deal.
No, I agree. I'm just saying that's what I thought he meant, but maybe I'm wrong. That was kind of how I.
Oh no, I thought he meant like there's more to Jon Stewart than you know.
Right? Oh, there could be, yeah, but.
So I thought, could Jon Stewart be like somehow involved? But I don't know why the ring would choose him. But like the ring didn't really choose. From what I've read, I haven't read up on the Green Lantern. I've read a couple of things, and the ring didn't really choose Sinestro, right? He and the ring, I don't know if the ring really chose Hal. Like the ring, I don't really know how it works, but like but listen, that ship crashed and Hal happened to be there. So is that the ring choosing Hal, or is that Hal being the only person around and so he gets the ring? Because that's what happened with Sinestro, right? He kind of takes the ring. He doesn't save the alien and he takes the ring, right?
Right. But Hal said that he was pulled out of bed in a bubble. So he wasn't around when the crash happened.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Yes, you're right. So, I mean, we do have some information from, I guess, comic readers. The Manhunter is in it for the long haul. So it's been blending in for a while. Okay. So it didn't just show up like a week ago. It's always the Manhunter's plans to build an army and destroy. Thank you. Yes, Sinestro, we will see the yellow and red lanterns and Parallax. Okay, I don't know what that means.
There was other colored lanterns, so there you go.
I don't get it. I don't know that, but I know Sinestro's skin is pretty red. And yes, Jen has read the comics. And so Jen, I believe AJ hasn't read these. I think he's not really that as much of a DC guy, right?
Yeah, I don't know. She said also that we saw the character that'll be Atrocitus.
Yeah, I don't really know what that.
I don't.
You were way ahead of us, Jen. So I don't know. So setting all that aside, I don't know what he means by that's only your second biggest problem. Let's talk about John. I mean, is John Hal's biggest problem? Is Sinestro just trying to sow doubt between Hal and John, right? Because maybe it's just a jerk. I don't know. Jamie, do you find this show to be slow and boring like so many people on the internet do? and 3 friends in my real life who stopped watching it already because they said it was boring.
I mean, no, I kind of liked like the buddy cop part of it. I like them their between Hal and John Stewart. But I still feel like I need to watch more to know if I like it. I mean, if we're not going to talk about it, will I keep watching it? I don't know. In all honesty, if we don't talk about it on the show, I probably won't end up continuing just because I don't have time to watch tons of TV. So I don't know that I will. But I don't mind it, and there's things I like about it. But is it slow? Yeah, it's slow. Not a whole lot's happened. And maybe that's what I mean when I say it doesn't feel like a DC show. Like, yes, they fly. So there is like that small element, but it doesn't, it overall just feels like a completely different show, I guess, than I expected it to. But maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's the pacing. I don't know. But I like the characters, I guess. Like, I don't love the story so far, but I like this idea of, he's reluctant to not be Green Lantern, and that he has to train him, and that this guy's trying to learn from him, and he's an asshole and doesn't want to help him. Like, I like that part of it. But yeah, I guess it really depends how it continues. I'll probably, if I have time and if we're covering it, keep watching it. But is it like the best show that I care that much about? No. I just thought it looked really good when I saw the preview, and that's why I watched it, because clearly I don't watch DC anymore. I used to like Superman. I used to watch a lot of Superman stuff, but I, over the years, kind of just stopped really liking DC, and then I got into Marvel.
Well, DC's made a lot of bad movies.
Yeah.
I do think it's a little slow, but it is more like cop mystery than superhero in these early 2 episodes, right? I think the casting is fantastic. I think the show really benefits from its lead characters all being like, I think, good performers and having good on-screen chemistry between. I mean, I think I like Hal and John together on screen, right? Those 2 actors are great together on screen.
And I like Sheriff and Hal together.
Yes, and they're all great. I mean, it's kind of, it's really saying something when so far Garrett Dillahunt is the most boring character, right? Like
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
He's kind of a one-note villain right now.
He is. You know what I feel like though, and I wonder, I kind of feel like this is the kind of show that I would almost rather wait until they're done airing it and then just watch it. Because like, I don't know that it's going to keep my interest to keep coming back each week. Like when you watch something, all at once, if it's slow, it doesn't matter because you can just watch through it. But I just wonder, like, am I going to keep caring each week? I don't know.
I mean, people have commented that on the internet, like, would this be better if you binged it?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. It's only 2 episodes, so I can't really tell till I get to the end of it what I think it would have been better as a binge. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna at least watch one more, and I'm assuming we're gonna talk about it next week, and we'll see how it goes. But
yeah,
I don't know. AJ, I don't think AJ seemed to really, or at least he seemed to me like he didn't love it. So I don't know, but I don't think he was sure yet either. So.
All right. Well, we'll see when he gets back next week. He's here next Tuesday and I'm not here next Tuesday. So you'll get other perspectives.
Yeah. And I was going to say, we have to decide. I know next, for anybody who doesn't know, Dark Matter comes on Friday, I believe.
All right. So we're done with Lanterns. Oh,
sorry.
Yes, we can be done with
Lanterns. Yeah, I didn't really have anything else to.
Lanterns, yes.
But Dark Matter comes on Friday. So we're going to next week be adding a day to talk about the first episode. And we're going to have to do that for 2 episodes because it's going to overlap with Silo, and then it'll move into Silo's slot. But we were intending, I had told everybody Thursday, and we were intending that. But I don't know if we might do it a little bit later maybe than we planned, to make sure you can be there, because the one day Scarlett's got to work too. I think AJ was maybe not going to be there. I don't want to do it alone. So we got to figure that out. But so everybody stay tuned to Discord for the schedule on that. But But yeah, we'll keep doing lanterns as well on Fandom Access, at least until we decide that we don't want to. But I mean, it's okay. I like it. So
I mean, between Magnus and Jen, we have some dedicated watchers who you guys seem to really have high expectations and hopes for this show. So could be just off to a slow start for those of us who are not already into the lore.
yeah, for sure. I mean, I kind of want to know what happens. Like I said, I like it. I don't love it, but it's enough that I want to watch and see what happens. So I will keep watching it. We will see how it goes. All right.
On to announcements. Dark Matter. We got to pick a date.
Yeah.
We're trying to find time.
Yeah, it's probably going to be next Thursday, but we'll see. Check schedule on Discord. Other than that, we have Librarians the Next Chapter tomorrow at 10:30 Eastern. And we'll try to have a watch party beforehand. As long as we can do that, we will. It's kind of hard because there's 2 episodes, but we should be able to. And other than that, I'm trying to think. We have Silos on Monday, of course, and we also have a Silo watch party in Discord Thursday night at midnight when the episode comes out. I think that's about it. Like I said, more interviews coming. Keep checking. I did the 2 Dead City interviews, but they were for the finale, so they won't be up until after the finale airs. So that's a bit away. But yeah, I don't know. Anything else? I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think that's about it.
That's it. We're going to get our schedule nailed down and jump in. So
everybody make sure you like the video, subscribe to Sci-Fi Vision. If you like playing games, we've been doing game nights on Friday in Discord. Karen has read Galactus is asking about Wool. You've read all 3, right?
Yes, I've read it all.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yes, Karen has. We have not. But we try to on our Silo show where we don't. We try not to spoil the book. We do the series discussion.
We talk a little book like
comparing.
We'll say like this person was not in the book, so we don't know what's going to happen. Like I don't know what's going to happen with certain things because they were not in the book, and that might be the limit of how much book we discuss.
Yeah, right. But for things that are different, we're not spoiling that.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, I guess that's it, guys. We'll see you hopefully tomorrow night for Librarians. And thank you if you joined us, and thank you if you stuck around. We appreciate it. And we will see you tomorrow.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Tomorrow. Good night. Have a good night, everybody. Oops. Good night.